Y'all caught me off guard. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, T to T. You can refer to me as Miss T. And we're going to talk about the fights this weekend. I had a good time. I was there live in person. Let's turn to. One moment. I get a call right as I'm about to. Hello? Hey, I'm online. I'm good. I'm online right now. I'll call you back. Okay. Welcome. It's Monday, and I hope everybody had a festive weekend. I did my second show on wellness on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's still through Boxing Fans Talk TV, but it's my wellness episodes. But we are trying to find the health in you. I'm taking the journey. Hopefully, you guys will take the journey with me. Anyway, it was a good weekend, and I went to the fight, so I had a good time. Of course, right? There was some hiccups, but we're gonna talk about them hiccups on Friday's show. Grown woman talk. Karma gonna Karma gonna do her thing. Um, we had a good time, but I did want to rock out as I normally do, and I thought about the song I want to play. This is not my song. This is a song that I played to stay up. You know how you driving and you get tired? Well, there's a difference in how I get tired now. Back in the day when I was young and I was always on the highway, I'm driving, I get tired, you start snoozing, your eyes get to closing, you be dozing off. And if you hit that rough edge of the side, what they call it, the shoulder of the road, you kind of wake back up, right? The difference I see now from then is that when I get tired, it seems like I just go to sleep with my eyes wide open. There is no phase into it or no slow walking into it. It's just like boom. And when I catch myself, I be wondering how long was I asleep. So I was having one of them moments. Eric Gomez is in the building, was popping king. Ricky Williams is in the building, was popping king. He said peace to the God and goddesses. PGH Big Dog was popping king. Salute boxing fans, talk TV. Yes. So I'm gonna play an oldie but goodie. I had to play something to keep me up, and I couldn't think of nothing. Back in the day, you used to pour water on your face, let down the window. It wasn't cold enough, so I was like, "Oh my God, what I'm gonna do?" Because I didn't want to pull on the side of the road. It was nothing open. It was old Doc 30 in the morning, and I needed to get home because I wanted to make sure I'd be there for my show that started at 1 p.m. on Sundays. Y'all check me out. It's not boxing, it's about health and wellness. And you will like the show. Hopefully, you guys are going on the journey with me. PGH Big Dog said, told you Shakur was going to style on her. Yes, you did, sir. Yes, indeed, you did. um, so I'm trying to stay up. I don't know what to do. And hopefully y'all like this song. You'll hear me talk over it a little bit. Oh my God, what just happened? Oh no. Let me see. Okay. Y'all can hear that. I'm gonna actually play the video. Y'all remember that? Hate to talk over it, but I don't want to get no copyright infringement because I'm playing a public video. But I need to play this song and stay up.
I heard Sam was going solo. Hot damn, you didn't know so. Well, I can blast fast or freak a ill type of slow flow. I'm hitting harder than Barry Bonds, so check the golden child. Doing it to your ear hole. Got you going buck wild with truck tracks. Rhymes on deck, breaking off niggas. Profit did dirt, did west, cause I clown coppers. New hip hop, rap composer, Mozart couldn't see me. Mad advanced in my skills, I'm all about the dollar bill. From Pittsburgh to Cali, dropping bombs like that. Was on the DL with the squad, but Solar couldn't hold it back. Black, a regulator, plus a big gate figure. Mobbing with that ill nigga with his finger on a bigger trigger. Serving all sides, hitting sevens on a making dough, eating shrimps, looking with some real pimps. Yeah. So peep game, best believe I love my beats. That's why I make the type of music you can pump in your chest. So what's my sound? I'm putting down for the underground. I got the women cause I'm slamming, jamming. Got it going on, it's time for this new producer to rise. So open your eyes, I think you better recognize.
Once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize.
Once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize. I remember days on the blocks where I slang slum, play punk cops and mad props, cause I ran with hard rocks. Yeah. From 8 balls to OZs, I made G's.
Say what?
Then built up enough loot to buy keys. No gang affiliation, yo, I stood on my own, two pulling capers. I'm a sneaky slick nigga. I never had to pull a trigger. I'm Mac on top of that, I used to stab wicked witches 24/7. You can ask my ex-hooker. But now I want some new improved shit. Making hits, stacking chips, now everything's legitimate. I flipped the script a long time ago on the 5, but when I discovered this new way to make my cash flow, yes indeedy, I wasn't greedy. Got my niggas out the gutter, now they rolling with the Sam Sneezy. Hip hop fanatic, causing static in the industry. These whack creators, I call them imitators. Be trying to see me, but see I'm unexplanatory with the fame and glory. That's why I gotta tell my story with no disguise. A lot of niggas despise because I'm on the uprise, so I think you better recognize.
once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize.
Once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize. Think you better recognize. Think you better recognize. Well, I'm back in the mix with a bottle of Hennessy. So fire up a blunt who's ever in the vicinity. Crazy shout outs giving pounds to all my niggas. Hitting all the hookers by the dozen cause they dig us. Fuck what you heard, recognize what you be seeing. This down to earth, true to the game, human being. I'm that little beige nigga trying to get mine. Fuck the 9, cause I've been climbing with the mastermind. I got my crew in my corner so I can't lose. Plus I'm paying mad dues in this record biz, I don't snooze. And suckers be popping that old idiotic, egotistical type of flim flam. I can't be faded Sam, I am blending with the hustlers, ever dealing with the knucklehead ballers. Cause boys play with toys and scholars play with dollars. I'm a Mac on my own right, plus my game is tight, baby, get it right. I ain't the one, so take flight. Bitches give me mad rhythm, but the brains are off tempo, thinking they can get my loot. I never trick to knock the boots. I gotta be wise when time to dip between the thighs. All eyes on the prize, so I think you better recognize.
Once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize.
Once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize.
Once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize.
Once again, it's the man with the master plan. They call him Sam, and I
think you better recognize.
Wow. That song right there saved my life in more ways than one. I played it like 3-4 times, which led me to play an old Steady B. How many of y'all remember Steady B? I ain't gonna play him today, but I think I want to credit Steady B for making me be interested in percussion instruments because I mean I feel like the shit is innate. We are black descendants from Africans, and drums or percussions are important, integral part of the black community at large, no matter where you're from in the world. And so I think it's innate in me. But what got me into loving percussions was Steady B. I love his music because I loved his beats. But you can't just have a beat and not be able to put no words, to it. That was my jam, though. That was my jam. 23 years old, I used to rock hard on that song in the club, but it saved my life. Sunday early in the morning, trying to get back home. Demetrius Bright in the building was popping king. So we're gonna review. I'm gonna try to save some for Coach G. He's gonna join us later because Coach G and me were at the fight, you know. But yeah, it was a weird setup. I've been to a couple of fights, now, and I would say, just starting off, we actually got there way earlier than I was thinking because I went with Carmen. She's on the grown woman panel, um, and she was like, the fight is starting at a certain time, which I wasn't even thinking that normally when I'm home, I watch fights. They come on at 9 or 10, and because they don't show all the cards that's on the undercard on TV, so we got to catch a lot of cards. Fights. When we got there was some fights going on. I would say, and I would ask Coach G because maybe I'm wrong, maybe not, but there were some fights where there's clearly a problem medically with some of the fighters. Like one guy, I really do believe he had a shorter leg than his other leg. Now, and one of his arms didn't look like it could be fully developed compared to the other. But people like that be strong. People like that who have muscle problems or whatever, they get into boxing, and we have one at our gym, and they stronger than you think, and it helps them overall. Anything better than being sedentary, but um, you know, uh, the guy was actually in the ring, and you could tell something was wrong with his legs because he couldn't really position himself, and when he would throw, his body was all off, centered, and it was just awkward as hell. But I asked Coach G about those fights because I was like, well, why would they put him in there? But hey, those people have dreams too. So it was a lot of good undercard fights. I can't remember all their name. Two of them stands out in my head. I don't remember their name, but they knocked their opponents out like lickety split, and it was like wow, like their skill level compared to their opponent was a lot of daylight in between those two guys. Um, all night long, that's what the matches seem like. Like it's a lot of daylight in between each opponent, all the way up to the main event because Shakur Stevens is clearly a superior boxer than his opponent. Clearly. There's no question about it. There's no doubt about it. Shakur was having fun. He was styling and profiling on Herring. And it's almost like he was toying with him at times. Like, just, yeah, I'm going to let you get some off. I'm going to prolong. Like, he was totally in the driver's seat the whole time. I don't know what Jamel's um, game plan was, but it wasn't a game plan that I could see. I don't see where he had one. Do he got heart? Hell yeah, he got heart. But as I told y'all, it wouldn't have mattered to me whichever one won because I like them both. My heart was with Jamel because he's a shipmate. He's a Marine. I'm a sailor. We go hand in hand. So my heart was with him, and I did not feel that he went as hard as I know Marines to go. But being a Marine and being a boxer is two different things. I'm sure if Shakur was to try to be a Marine, after about an hour or two, he gonna be like, enough of this shit. I just think the Marines will go harder because we see them when they not on the stage and they box and they do all this stuff. They go hard. Them some jarheads, pretty much. He didn't go as hard as I thought he would have, and so that could be totally because of the skill level of his opponent in Shakur Stevens. Shakur Stevens didn't let him go as hard as he probably could have. Eric Gomez said Shakur versus Colbert needs to be next. I'm asking the panel, you guys, is it me or was Chris Colbert supposed to be on this undercard? I could have sworn he was slated to be there, and if he was, then that would explain the unorganization of the event because you at 85 ounces. I'm at 80. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me do the water check. I ain't got a bottle in front of me, but I drunk 8 bottles, so I'm at 80 ounces today. Demetrius is at 85. Anybody else want to sound off? How many ounces of water did they drink today? Demetrius, you remember that this week we giving up and I thought about it. I was like, did I say it? I think I did. But we're giving up meat, uh all but chicken and tuna. I'm leaving chicken and tuna. He said, congrats. Shakur and Lomachenko, then Shakur versus Valpez. Shakur be calling out Valpez all the time, but I don't know what his fight. They thinking about Bob. Bob actually was mentioning maybe Shakur and Lomachenko. You know, you never know till you see it. I do want to see him fight a fight that's very challenging, and I think this one was as probably one of his most challenging. But because I feel Jamel is better than most of the other opponents that he's fought. I just think sometimes Jamel either caved under the lights, or he ain't got it like that. Like what we'll say that Shakur don't have power, but he got something because Jamel didn't style and profile as he could have. So Shakur did. Shakur pretty much negated whatever Jamel wanted to do or could do or thought he was gonna do. And that's shout outs to Shakur. That's a testament to his talent and his skill level. You said I bought steak and salmon today, so I give up chicken. Oh, well, as I was explaining Sunday, I don't want the meat people to come after me, but red meat, especially with black people, it's just not good. It's not good, and technically, pork is red meat. Now that's one of them tomato arguments, and I'm not getting into it with nobody. I know for a fact, and I've heard from chefs, actual chefs, that pork is considered red meat. But people, if people want to look at pork as pork and red meat is red meat, they could do that too. But red meat on black people is proven to be really toxic. It could be toxic because we overindulge. It could be just simply toxic. I know the red meat's supposed to provide iron, but you can get iron from everything that come out the ground and fall off the tree. So you don't need no meat. I would suggest if anybody out there is gonna give up meat and you say I gotta keep one meat, um, I would say keep a bird of some kind, a fowl. That's what they'll tell you. If you're gonna eat a meat, eat a bird, some type of bird. And the most popular bird in US is chicken. So, um, chicken, don't fry it. Um, Also, if you're gonna eat some meat out of the sea, some people love eating seafood. I would say do tuna. That's why I left those two on the list because anything further, you have to. Anyway, let's get back to this work. Um, so I had. It was a one-sided victory. It's not much to say. Shakur nullified his inside game, his outside game. He was playing with him. You can see it in his face. You can see the expressions in his face. Like when he wanted to hit him, he hit him. Jamel bruised easy, or his skin was puffy, like especially around his eyes. Um, Shakur, like I said, he came around. I think if Shakur would just went out and blast him right from the beginning, he would have had him out there. Jamel showed his age. He showed his age in this fight. His age was a factor for real. Uh, keep freezing. Okay, I don't know. I'm scared to hit the refresh button. Can y'all see me now? I'm scared to hit the refresh button. I can try it, but let me close some of this shit down because it could be that close all this crap down. So I closed a lot of stuff down. Oh man, he said I sound like a robot. Hold up. Mm. How about now? How about now? I closed pretty much everything down. How do I sound, you guys? Am I good? I might have to refresh. Oh, it's good. Good. Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you, King. So yeah, it was one sided. It was so one sided. Um, I was shocked. I didn't jump for joy. I was sitting in a section with like surrounded by all of Shakur Stevens' family. Like it was just crazy. All of it was his family. And so, I wanted to yell and scream for Jamel, but I didn't. I like them both, mainly because they were Team Crawford. I met Crawford, but oh, y'all know that was the highlight of my night. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. I was walking past, and me and Carmen was going back to the car, and we had valet parked or something, and he was leaning up against the doorway, and there was an older gentleman in front of me. I don't know if he was with him or he know him, but I said, "Oh my God, my legs just got weak." I something to that effect. I was just saying it. I won't try to let nobody hear that. It's just a natural response to seeing Crawford. And the guy started smiling. And he was like pointing at him, like, "You want a picture with him?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah." So, of course, I got to meet Crawford. Y'all know how I feel about that dude. That's my dude. But I say corny shit like, "Oh, my legs just got weak." I'm like truly just a fan. But why would I say that? I don't know. But it did. I was like, oh. Demetri said Shakur at Beast. Bomax game plan went out the door. Yeah, it did. I don't think Jamel could handle him. Mike Jones in the building. Salute King. Yeah, so when I said that, I instantly like, damn, wanted to take it back. And Demetri said, boo, boo, boo. Y'all know I love Bud. Hey, ain't no boo over here. That's my man right there. I mean it plutonically, everything. But I ain't say you because I'm sure a man don't say that upon meeting another man. Oh, my legs just went weak or something. But I didn't think the dude heard me. Back of my dog's acting a fool. Somebody must be at the door. Oh, that my kid coming home. DJ in the building was popping King. We met up. We met up, DJ. Telling them about the weekend. I met DJ this weekend. Salute Miss T. Had a ball with y'all this weekend. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Dude, it was so clustered, DJ. We really did try to meet y'all. It just wasn't working. And then I had to get home. And, luckily we left when I did. I didn't really get no sleep. I was on the road. For y'all just coming in, y'all missed me playing Sam Sneed. You think you better recognize or something, or you better recognize. That song came out when I was like 23 years old. I remember where I was, exactly what I was doing. I was in a club in Rota, Spain, and that shit was that shit went hard, and even to this day. But I needed that, and I want to send a shout out to Sam Sneed because he kept me awake them last 50 miles. I needed something to hype me up, and boy, did it. And so then I started playing Steady B. Then I was playing so what you saying EPMD. My boy Eric in Paris. Boy, that song right there. Next thing you know, I was at the crib. DJ said, yeah, it was pure chaos after that fight. Yeah, I done seen people. What I tell you, I have a phobia of driving in Atlanta, and I seen why. Like it confirmed this weekend. This weekend confirmed why I don't like driving in Atlanta. People trying to park. How the fuck you like side swipe somebody's Mercedes? I mean, if you got a nice car, why would you even drive it in Atlanta? That's my thing. Dude side swiped dude's Mercedes. He looked like he was driving a Fusion. All he was doing was trying to pull in. We gave him ample room to pull in and park, and he side swiped the driver's side back fender of the dude's Mercedes. You hear the thump like boom, and then you hear the fender detach. Next thing you know, they get up. I thought they was gonna go to blows, but they amicably talked. I guess exchange information, and they actually hugged it out because the driver, the owner of the Mercedes, I think he was crying a little bit or teared up. It made the other guy want to hug him. I don't see nothing wrong with that, but yeah, you can't have nothing nice when it comes to vehicles in Atlanta because the shit gonna get fucked up. That's why I don't like driving there. Demetri said, "Nah, I don't do that." Yeah, but I thought it was a good display of grown men handling, or owning up to whatever was happening. One dude kind of hurt the other dude, and they both talked about it and they hugged it out. There was no like nigga, and all this stuff. So yeah, it is. People is funny. I'm online, people. Hold on one second, y'all. Gotta answer it. DJ says that's partly why we waited until traffic died down a little bit before we took off. Yeah, I can understand. When we got back to Carmen's house, I tried to go to sleep just a little, like catch a little snooze. I could not sleep for some reason. With that Sprite that I had, so Demetrius, I had a bad day on Saturday, not too bad, but I ate at the event and I drank a Sprite, so that was my cheap fall off day. I got right back on Sunday. I was out and about though. No excuse, but I was out and about. Um, those things can happen when it's like that. Um, when I could not sleep. We got back to the house like three some in the morning. I could not sleep. Then all of a sudden, I had to go to the bathroom all the time. I will finish. I will go lay down. And then 1 minute, 2 minutes, and I mean 1 minute or 2 minutes past, had to go to the bathroom again. And that happened for hours. And then I finally said, look, I gotta go. Because when this stops, then I'm gonna fall into a deep sleep and I ain't gonna be home by one. And I needed to get home by one. So I got on the road, and that's why I played the Sam Snead. Like I said, he saved my life. We was talking about the uh the review of the fights. Shakur Stevens is a complete fighter. I saw this dude do stuff defensively where he negated um Jamel. There was some dirty tactics going on because from where I was sitting, I could see the shit clearly. I could see the punches thrown with the elbow right behind it, the hitting behind the head. Herring, he bruises easy, or his eyes was like really, really puffy. Um, Youth was on Shakura's side. It was very much on his side. And it wasn't on Herring's side. I don't know. I dare to say he aged in that fight before our eyes. Whatever he did to Carl Frampton, he didn't have that. in this fight. All of the fights on this undercard was lopsided like that. All of them. There was clearly somebody in there who was more skilled than the other person. So either that was a coincidence or there was a hellified matchmaking. DJ, what you think about that? I'm gonna actually put the link in the chat. I don't know if you could talk. You probably at work, but what you think about that? Because that was my feeling of the fight the whole time. Every fight we looked at. DJ said I was telling everyone who would listen that Shakur was going to style on Heron and put on the show. Then you was right too. A couple of y'all say that, but it wasn't bad. Like I said, both of those guys I like. I like them for who they roll with, and I like Bomac whole team, his whole organization, and y'all know how I feel about Terrence. As I said, my knees got weak when I saw this man. Nicest man you ever want to meet. Very courteous. He's fan friendly. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. And why is it important for somebody to be fan friendly? You talking about your career. We talking about your career. If you're not fan friendly, then what the hell? Let me get DJ up in here. What up, hell?
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much. How you be?
I'm good. Just got to the slave ship probably about an hour ago. I'm back at it. Enjoyed the weekend, but I'm back at it.
Hey, fair exchange is no robbery.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was a lot of dirty tactics going on both sides in all fights. But I'll say this though, because there was some people in my section complaining. It was fairly split because we were around a lot of Shakur fans, but at the same time we had a lot of people over there that were either Marines or they were just from that New York area, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, no, you really can't complain because he's letting them fight. He's not warning either guy on either side. He's letting them fight, which in any sport, that's all you can ask the referee to do is be consistent. If that's how you calling it, that's how you calling it. And ain't, favoring one side or the other. I felt like he let him fight because there was a point in that fight where Jamel Herring hit Shakur below the belt and he turned to complain about it. And Jamel threw a couple punches and Shakur ducked him and then looked back at the ref like, you not going to call that? It's like, no, he let him fight.
Yeah, his family was deep where he was. Shakur Stevens' family was deep where we were. We didn't like when we met up with y'all. We weren't really gonna talk about it, but we went through some stuff in that section where we were sitting. It just wasn't all peachy dory and everything.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, well, I ain't gonna ruin the night for y'all because you know how we could be. We could be like just complaining about the shit all day, and then we go to our next destination. You be like, and that motherfucker, just rehashing. We didn't want to because everybody was in a good mood. I will say, but we're gonna talk about it on Grown Woman Talk this Friday. Be sure to check it out.
Right.
But it's
I kind of got part of the story.
You did?
But, yeah. But not the full dose. So I'll be listening that Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Carmen tell it because it's her story mainly to tell.
Yeah. She told me a little bit of it. I was like, yeah.
When we were standing in the hotel.
Yeah. We was when y'all was standing there when you was over there by Tim Bradley and Evan Holyfield. Yeah, we was kind of off to the side talking a little bit. She was telling me what was going on a little bit.
Shelter Moore in the building was popping, King.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you guys doing today? How you doing, Miss T?
I'm doing great. It's Monday.
Yeah, I see my man DJ's over there. DJ.
What's going on, OG?
What's up? How about the Eagles, man?
Back at it. It's Monday.
I had to get that in there, man. How about the Eagles, bruh?
Man, why we got to talk about them today?
Yeah, that shit was ugly, man. That shit was ugly. But yeah, man,
his Raiders beat my Eagles yesterday, so he got rubbed in a little bit.
Yeah, destroyed him a little bit. But I'm happy for the kid, man. I'm glad y'all enjoyed yourself. at the fight, man. I missed this one. I was at the last one. I missed this one. You know, business got to come first. But I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, man. And you told me that you think Shakur is the guy, right?
Absolutely.
At 130, he's the guy.
Absolutely. I
You know,
mean,
do you see any challenges? Because I don't, from my assessment, I watched the fight. I don't see a challenge for him at 30. He has challenges at 35.
I see one guy. I see one guy. Only one guy who I think will make it a good fight.
Who's that?
And that's because they have similar styles. And that's Lil B-Hop.
Really?
Chris Colbert.
Lil B-Hop. Chris Colbert. That would be a great fight. He's tall, he's long, he's rangy, got a good jab. I mean, good head movement. Like, I believe it'll be a good fight. It's a cool win, but I believe it'll be a good fight.
Ms. T, what do you think about that?
I don't know how he said he tall and lanky. Like, how tall is he? He look like a short dude to me. I don't know how tall he is, but you know, he is very thin.
He's like what, 5'10"? 5'11"? That's tall for that division. Yeah, he's tall.
Colbert's 5'10"?
Yeah, he's tall, man.
That's tall for 130 pounds.
Look, I had him at 5'4", just the eye test. Shows.
Oh no, he's tall. Yeah, man, that would be a good fight. See, somebody just commented on that. I already see this narrative getting put out there, and I was just talking to my guy Blue Blood about that. It's this narrative that Bob Arum done already started. He done already started that Oscar Valdez protection plan, trying to throw Lomachenko out there. It's like, no, let that man unify.
Hey, look, this is what I think, man. Real spit. If Lomachenko want to bring his ass down to 30 to get that ass whooping, come get it.
If Lomachenko come down to face Shakur, he gonna get that ass whooped.
Facts. But I want Shakur to be the one to take Valdez's oath.
He's gonna be. That fight is inevitable, bro. They gotta make that fight. Well, no, they don't. Wait a minute. Let me back up off that. Because Bob already told you he don't give a shit about what the fans think. He told you that like 9 months ago.
Facts. I still say Valdez need to be held accountable. So I'm not happy if he get a fight, whether he would have got his ass whooped or not. Accountability was first and foremost in my mind. And I just can't stand the fact that he doesn't feel around.
I get it because he cheated. I get it.
Okay, I stand corrected. He's 5'8". He's 5'8". It must be because he's fighting King Tug, and King Tug ain't but like 5'5".
Like, I thought this nigga was 5'2". I'm just
joking. Yeah, I stand corrected. They got him listed at 5'8".
Chris
Colbert. But I tell you this, they had Xander.
It's still tall for the division, though. It's still tall for the division.
Yeah. That's the same height as what's his name? Haney. Haney ain't but like 5'8", 5'9". T.O. ain't but like 5'8", 5'9".
Floyd was 5'8".
So
most welterweights are 5'8", somewhere around there. A good one anyway. Demetrius said they have Brady versus Valdez.
Yeah, OG, what have I been saying? They are not going to let Shakur Stevenson touch Oscar Valdez. They are saving him for Navarrete.
Yeah, that could be it. You know, Bob loves those other type people. I'll say that.
Yeah, I've been said they wasn't gonna let him. They wasn't gonna let Shakur touch Valdez, but that's the fight we want, though. That's the fight we need. Unification is always a great. I mean, plus they he just fought, and Oscar Valdez just fought a mandatory fight or a voluntary fight, or a voluntary defense or a mandatory defense. So, these guys are on the same schedule. So there's no reason why we shouldn't have that fight coming up.
Everybody in the chat and in Facebook, y'all like and subscribe. But you know what? They doing what they want to do. DJ, I have an important question to ask you. You was there at the fights. Did it seem like to you that event was unorganized a little bit?
Underpromoted.
Because remember
underpromoted. It didn't seem like it was unorganized. It just seemed like they didn't promote it as well as they should have. Because leaving the arena and heading to our car, like you could hear people who were from the city stopping and asking, "What's going on in there? What's going on in there?"
Right.
It's like it was a fight tonight. What are you talking about? So who was fighting? It was like Shakur Stevenson, and who was that? Like, wow, really? And it was multiple people stopping, asking, what's going on in the arena? Nobody in the city knew.
That's sad. But why?
Well, see,
Even
but
with
this
all
is
those people, even with all the
let me
people from Atlanta, like Evan Holyfield and Hot Rod and Haven Brady Jr., like they were on the card. And even though they got a nice ovation when they came out, they were well represented. Even Xander Zayas was well represented in the crowd, even though he's not from Atlanta. He was well represented in there. But just hearing people stop on the street and not know what was going on in their own city lets me know that they didn't really promote that fight in that city. You don't really see them promoting
that's the problem. But see, that's the problem with boxing, y'all. That's the problem with boxing. See, we know these guys and we know a lot of these fighters because it's our thing. It's what we do, right?
Right.
But I tell people this all the time, and I just want to bite my head off, say I'm tripping. Most of these fighters, and I'm talking about the Errol Spencers, the Keith Thurmans, the Jamals, even so far, I'll say it's like the Better people don't know who the fuck they are. They have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
None.
They know who St. Louis is, though. They know
Put
who
it this
St.
way, bro.
Louis
I'm
is.
being honest with you.
Yes.
I'm being honest with you. This is real spit. You can take Terrence Crawford here, bring Terrence Crawford here to Los Angeles, drop him off at the Fox Hills Mall, and nobody will know who the hell he is.
Serious?
Nobody.
Well, you bring him down on who the hell he is. I'm gonna spot Terrence from a mile away. You can't get me.
Yeah, Miss T, you will.
Yeah.
I will. But the masses will not know who he is because people have to realize that boxing in America. Now, DJ, me and you agree on this. We always talk about this. Football is king.
Yeah.
Then
Absolutely.
you got basketball. Then
Absolutely.
baseball.
Absolutely.
And then maybe tennis, MMA, then boxing.
Wow.
Miss
That's
T,
the way it works.
you were there in the arena. You were there in the arena Saturday. What happened when they announced that the Braves were going to the Super Bowl? I mean, not the Super Bowl, but the World Series.
Yeah, I know, right? The Super Bowl. Everybody
They lost. They lost their mind.
about the game. I was like, nah, look at baseball. They was like, they just want to know the score, and they stopped. It was that tomahawk type thing. Whatever. They were trying to profiling on baseball to it in the middle of the boxing thing.
Yeah.
They stopped
Baseball is
and
American
announced it
pastime.
in the middle of
That's
the
American pastime.
fight. In between fights, they stopped. I just want to announce that the Atlanta Braves have defeated the LA Dodgers and they are going to the World Series. The crowd erupted.
Exactly. Yeah.
But see, I know I'm talking to two intelligent people here on this panel, right? So I understand that you guys understand. There's more white folks here in this country than us, right? You understand that? Because a lot of, you talk to a lot of black folks, they don't want to admit that. Or they don't believe it.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. There's way more white people here than us. And way many white people watch baseball than we do. Baseball, why do you think baseball makes more money out of any major sport? Baseball players make more than anybody.
Besides soccer.
Well, that's a world sport. That's not an American sport. That's a global sport. That's different.
Ain't no salary cap in this sport. Ain't no salary cap. They can pay what they want to pay.
Yeah, baseball don't have no salary cap. That's why them dudes got $250, $300, $350 million deals for baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
America's pastime, favorite.
That's America's pastime.
Regulated by Congress. No
yes, man. See, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So people have to get off the stick, and they tripping on why this guy ain't making that much. Why this guy ain't making that much? Because number one, boxing is unregulated, and number two, if you're dealing with cats like Bob Arum and Al Heyman, they're not gonna pay you more than they think you're worth.
And if you a person of color, they don't think you have value anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
That's the way it is. I mean, people don't want to talk about it or speak on it, but that's what it is.
I mean, let's call it what it is, man. If you don't speak Espanol or you don't rule those rubber youth with Bob, he ain't gonna put that much money in you. That's just it.
But do you understand why?
I'm gonna ask you this as well. Do you think if Bob had reserved more of that arena, it would have sold out Saturday?
No.
I'm sorry, did he deserve what?
If he had reserved more of that arena, like he didn't even. Did you notice how the top level wouldn't even? It was blocked off.
Yeah.
Do you think if he reserved the entire arena, it would have sold out Saturday?
Oh yeah, maybe. Anything's possible because I know people in Atlanta always looking for something to do. And even though it wasn't promoted well, if they'd have thought that, hey, this is a hot ticket item, I'm sure they could have showed up. Because, like I said, some like Carmen, she'll go to events, but she told tell you straight up, I'm not into boxing like you are into it. So sometimes my homegirls go with me to these boxing events. I be feeling like they dragging their knuckles coming, doing me a solid, just like if I go somewhere with them, I'm dragging my knuckles, But she was like, "No, girl, I go to social event. In the end, it's like a social event." But I noticed how empty the arena was. I didn't want to say it because I was like, "Well, why isn't it ain't filled up?" Even when it got close to the main event. And that's why I asked you, do you think it was unorganized? Because there was a delay. Do you remember that? Like
a lot of those fights. See, they gotta fill up that TV time. They had to. They were trying to wait until that Alabama Tennessee game went on. That's why it was such a long. Hey, Sheldon, can you mute your mic?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's why there was such a long delay. Remember, it was like a 20 or 30-minute delay between the time that the prelims ended and that they started the main card, right? Mm-hmm. They were trying to wait until that Alabama-Tennessee game went on so they could put it on ESPN. Because, all those other fights were on ESPN Plus. They were on the app. Like when Holyfield and Troy Isley and Hayden Brady Jr. and all those guys were fighting. Those were all on the app on ESPN Plus. After that last fight ended, I want to say it was Troy Isley. I want to say after his fight ended. Remember, there was some knockouts. There was a lot of knockouts, and they were short fights anyway. They were all like 4 and 6 round fights, but most of them ended in knockouts. So now we got to do something to fill this time that we done reserved, and plus the other game is still on, and we want to put this championship fight on ESPN. So that's why it was such a long, it was a long lull. It was like 30, 35 minutes.
I was actually getting fed up, but I told you I'm over there in my section. Ricky Williams said boxing is a neat sport.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because they wasn't going to cut that football game off, even though it was a blowout. They still
no, they wouldn't cut that football game off.
Even though it was a blowout.
Ricky Williams said plain and simple. He wrote it simple. But yeah,
they would try to wait for that game to go off before they put on ESPN.
I had no idea. I'm thinking that ESPN for that time slot was reserved just for boxing.
Football is king, Miss T. Football is king.
You know what? I don't watch but I watch Inside the NFL just to keep up. I love the highlights. I just can't sit there.
And you notice, like, everybody was complaining about Shakur really getting his post-fight interview on ESPN. But if you think about it, like, I don't think it was some overwhelming conspiracy. I just understand that, they only got Bob only paid for this much time. He only paid for this much time on ESPN, right? So after that fight ended, we're going to go ahead and roll credits. Everybody go back over to the app.
Damn.
Now, I thought he should have got his interview on ESPN. Damn that. But Sports Center's due to come on at this time. We're not going to delay Sports Center. Unless the other games went into overtime or something, we're not going to delay Sports Center. This fight's over with. We're going to go ahead and roll credit. You can get your interview on the app. Now, I thought that was wrong. I felt like the young kid deserved his moment in the sun. After especially after putting on that masterful performance that he put on, that I felt like was going to happen.
But two things for you, DJ. I'm going to give you two things. Number one, I can understand why they did it because, contrary to what people want to believe, nobody knows who Shakur Stevenson is.
A
He
lot of
didn't
people
get the
don't.
big Olympic push. He didn't get that.
Yeah, yeah.
No, nobody got that. Nobody really got that. That Sugar Ray Leonard treatment. Like,
I.e., nobody knows who he is. That's why they put him back on the app, because we got to get these college football highlights on the way. Number two, to answer your earlier question, that place wouldn't have sold out if Bob would have reserved more of the arena, because you said yourself, people in Atlanta didn't even know the fight was going on.
right. It was
So it wouldn't have sold
underpromoted.
out.
It was heavily underpromoted. That was my biggest issue, man. It was just underpromoted. Once people up on the street come up to you asking you what's going on in their city and they don't know, come on, man. You promote there first.
Promote inward, outward. Reggie Bell said, "What's up, Queen? What's up, King?" I don't know. Like it was, like I said, the low moments in the fight, like when I was like, "What's going on? Did the fighter drop out?" And what we was going through in our section, I was just like getting fed up. At one point, I was gonna say, "Fucking, I don't even care no more," because I didn't know what was going on. I have never go like that. And most of the cards were 4-rounder cards. You know, like for the fighters, they were 4-rounders or 6-rounders. You can see that the skill level on damn near the whole undercard was lacking. You know,
It was a showcase, Miss T. It was a showcase.
that's what
It
it
was a
was.
showcase.
Well,
It
shit.
was a showcase. I'm here to showcase my young prospects. That's all it was. It was a showcase.
Well, it was worth every penny of $100. Because had I paid more than that, I'd have been hot.
For sure, for sure. And then the main card only had 3 fights on it. And the first 2 ended in knockouts. So they got to fill their time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about Nico Walsh. I'm gonna say I'm proud of him because I saw improvement from the first fight. I don't
Mm.
think that this was a pushover. The guy and him had the same record. They had one fight before and they both won their first fight. So they was the same. He was more aggressive, he pushed the fight and he connected. Um cool. Shout outs to him. But he in the 60
Yeah,
division,
he's middleweight. He's at middleweight.
dude.
I asked him. I asked him after the fight when I ran into him at the hotel. I asked him. I was like, "How long you gonna stay at 160, man?" Because I noticed he's growing. He's a big kid. He was like, "As long as my trainer wants me to." So, and he's got Sugar Hill in his corner. So,
They doing a good job because
You guys know what's going on with that, right?
what's up? Enlighten us. What's going on?
He's going to be protected until he gets about 20 fights before they put him in there with anybody who could potentially derail the money train. Because he got the biggest name. He got the Ali name. That's going to bring tons of dollars. They're going to blow him up the same way they did Edgar Berlanga.
The same way they did
But the thing is, the only difference is he got Sugar Hill.
talk to him, Miss C. Talk to him. He ain't hear you. Talk to him.
Say that again?
same way they did Lomachenko.
Same way they did Lomachenko. Same way they did Lomachenko.
Same
Well,
way they gonna do Sam
Miss T,
Desire.
you know when they lost me, right? You know when they lost me, don't you?
When they lost Super Player.
They lost me is when they started saying he was the closest thing to Ali that they have seen. And that's when they lost me. I'm done. I'm finished with you.
They said that about Lomachenko.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, you didn't hear that
On ESPN.
I heard
On ESPN they said that.
and I was like, that's when I said y'all full of y'all.
Yeah,
Like,
that's when I was done with him. I'm done with it.
yes. Y'all,
Because if you really look at Lomachenko, let's be honest.
right.
Let's be completely honest.
Keep it a buck.
Besides T.O., who has he fought?
No fucking body.
Who has he fought? Adam Carolla?
And this
Luke Campbell?
I know somebody made this.
His best win, in my opinion, is Linares. That's his best win.
I'll agree. But they always want to talk about his amateur record, right? He was a grown ass man, a grown
fighting 19-year-old kids,
fighting boys. Of course, your record was what it was. It better have been. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't buy into the hype. He was like 7 fights in when they were comparing him to Floyd Mayweather. I said, I know y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Oh,
This
pretty
dude he got his ass whooped in his second fight, and they tried to take the loss away.
exact. They tried to
So
hide.
Leo beat the shit out of him.
Exact.
Well, he hit him low. I mean, that's professional boxing. That's why you got a ref.
I mean, like it's okay to say he's a good fighter because he do have skills, but when he got his legs, and see when I start think, oh, by the way, DJ, y'all show last night, I did watch it. Everybody was on point. Everybody was on fleek. However y'all young folks say it, y'all was on point, on fleek, whatever. 817, he was on point. Southpaw was on point. Brandon was on point. Picasso, all of y'all.
Southpaw went in.
I was like, what? Let me find this dude.
Yeah, yeah.
He said what all of y'all and everybody be thinking. And you
Yeah,
know what?
yeah. But you know, we can't say it because we racist, but you're like, I'm Latino. I'ma say it. Canelo's a bitch. He was like, that's why he was like, trust me.
Let
OG
me tell
Silver,
you something.
you gotta
Let
go
me
back
tell
and
you
listen
something
to
though. If you
Huh?
come out here to LA, most
Man,
hardcore Mexican boxing fans don't like Canelo.
yeah, man.
They don't
Because
like
you
him.
can't
They say because he
you
don't
can't
fight the tough fights.
and
He
that's
doesn't take
exactly what it said.
challenges.
That's why the Mexican legends like
Yeah.
Eric Morales and Juan Manuel Marquez and
Facts.
Marco Antonio Barrera. That's why they
Yeah.
don't fool with him. They don't talk to him.
Because he doesn't challenge himself.
He
Somebody
don't.
who made the point that said, what is he? Was it 817? When he said it, I was like, oh my God. You what is your legacy? A legacy of cheating and getting your way and people being consistent with your bullshit. I'm putting my stank on it, but that's basically what one of y'all has said. And I was like, oh my God, that is it right there.
We
That's
just kind of fell back and let him cook. We just kind of fell back and let it was Southpaw 773 or something like I think that was his name. We just kind of fell back and let him cook.
And
Because he was
what was he saying? He said,
talking
what's
about
more
how
important,
a
your
lot of
legacy or your bag?
now he was
like,
saying
what's your legacy? What is Canelo's legacy? He was like, think about it. It's cheating, and he ain't fought the best guys in his era. He fought guys that were either has-beens or he's fighting tune-ups. That's his legacy. He's fighting has-beens and tune-ups. And the only guy that he fought that could actually beat him was Floyd Mayweather. And we saw what happened. It was like even
No. I bet
Lada
you're different with that. I
yeah,
bet
he
you're
was
different with that. I bet you're different with that.
what's up?
Triple G. Triple G whooped his ass in that first fight.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Triple G whooped his ass.
Agreed.
Laura beat him. Laura
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
him.
Second fight, he
Everybody
adjusted.
says
I give you
Laura
that.
beat him. I think the boxer, if you unless you're a Cinnamon fan, most real boxing fans feel like he lost that fight.
He did. And they wanted to get once they did that, and I don't even like Laura. So once they did that, I was like, y'all just white hope or whatever. Because he looked white. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't live on the West Coast specifically for this is one of the reasons why. It seemed like a lot of I'm gonna say Mexicans, it might be other Latinos, but when they on this journey or campaign, they gotta be white. They think they the ultimate white person. And they want
Yeah.
prejudice
They
and
want to assimilate. They want to fit in. Yeah, you're right.
I find it disgusting. Almost makes me throw the fuck up.
Yeah. Be
I,
yourself. Be who you're
And that's
supposed to be.
something else. That's something else that Southpaw was saying. He was like, I'm Ecuadorian, right? He
mhm.
was like, Mexicans look down on Central and South Americans. Like they are this is what he was saying. He was like, they are the white people of the Latino world. They look down on the rest of everybody from Central and South America. Like you got El Salvadorians, Ecuadorians, Venezuelans, like Mexicans look down on them.
Hondurans like Tio.
Honduran, who like they look down on us, man. So you like, so it's fuck Canelo, fuck Oscar Valdez, like fuck them all. Like he went in.
It's like him. And I was like, what? Yes, yeah. And I do pick that up being way over here. I do pick
Where
that
you
up.
at in Texas, Miss T?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, you in Atlanta, Georgia.
And not Atlanta, but Augusta.
Augusta, that's close.
Yeah, that's
No,
good.
yeah, that's close.
But
You
yeah,
in Augusta, okay. Yeah, so you don't have You guys don't have that many Mexicans out there, right?
No, we don't. And I didn't grow up in a place where I seen Mexican. Like, the first time I seen Mexican talk is when I came to the Navy in 1992, and I was 20 years old. The first time I ever seen Mexicans. I don't have a problem with Mexican. And as I tell people, they call me racist. My daughter is part Mexican, so y'all can stop at the door right there.
Right.
But I call it like I see it. A lot of
And
times when
it's,
they be police brutality and these cops shooting, it's usually a Latino cop that shot this black guy.
yeah. And it's not, and here's the thing. This is what we got to get over. It's nothing wrong, Miss T, with you calling it like you see it. It's nothing wrong with you having an opinion. That's why I was in the military for 8 years. I was fighting for the right for you to have an opinion, for me to have an opinion. That's what it's all about. Supposedly, that's what they tell you.
I ain't do my 20 years just for black people. I did mine for white, Mexicans, Puerto Rico, anybody over here in America, the melting pot. When I grew up, that's what they was teaching.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but if you can't respect the beauty in your own race, something wrong with you. You gotta get the fuck around me. And I mean everybody. That includes white folks, Asians, whatever. If I can see the beauty, if you can't see it, yeah, you can't be around me. And so I have a problem with the state of Mexico today. And that's why I say it's 100 years. Don't be surprised if Muhammad Ali is Mexican when they tell a story. That's what I'm thinking, that they're going to revise the story. But speaking of Mexican, did y'all see that one guy that came out to fight DJ, kept picking his leg like something wrong with him? There was a couple of fighters that had some can't get right.
I can barely hear you, Miss T.
I said, speaking of Mexicans, when it seemed like it was a Mexican that came out. He was kicking his leg. He had a sombrero on and everything, and he was kicking his leg, and he looked like something was wrong. Like 3 of those fighters looked like they had problems with their legs, like they can't get right. Like they was, I don't want to say deformed, but like something was wrong with them. Did you
Nervous energy. I just thought it was nervous energy. I don't necessarily think they were injured. You just saw a lot of guys in there Saturday, especially the guy who fought Young Holyfield. They just came out. They were real tight. They were trying to shake their legs out. They were just everything. They was trying to shadow box in the corner. They were just trying to get loose. It was just a bunch of nervous energy. Guys had adrenaline dumps. I think that's more so what it was than anything.
One of them definitely looked like he had a shorter leg. Women are very acute to paying attention to detail. So I can see that shit. I'm like, your leg is shorter. I don't know why we can do that, but we do that. Notorious for that shit. I want the only one.
But it could also be that some of those dudes was real tight because they knew they was on TV. Mm-hmm. And if they could win the fight, what does it do for them? That's a lot of pressure. Because I'm pretty sure Bob Arum been in the sport for what, 60-some years?
A long time.
So I'm pretty sure all them dudes who came in to fight the Troy Isleys and the Nico Ali Walshes and all those they all got the memo, if you know what I'm saying. They got the memo before they got there. Look, you finna go into this showcase fight. We ain't telling you. We're not gonna say take a dive, but don't fuck up the money either. Don't fuck this money.
Obviously, the guy who was fighting Hot Rod, he was 12 and 14, right?
Oh
yeah.
He didn't get the memo.
He didn't get the memo.
He missed that meeting because he actually came in there and wanted to fight. That's the guy that Timothy Bradley was talking to in the hallway.
Oh.
Right. He was trying to give him some tips to. He was like, "Man, you could have won that fight easy. What were you doing? What was going through your head?" And I actually got to respect Timothy Bradley for that. He was like, "When you were in this spot, this is what you should have did.
Right.
This is what you were doing forward when you were in this spot. It's like because you were just fading back. What you're supposed to do is roll under, and then you got to come right here. Like I didn't have much to
Hey,
say to Tim Bradley. Like, I respect it. I was like, yeah, what's up, man? Because I don't like what you had to say about Wilder. I ain't like it. So,
what did
you
he
know,
say about Wilder that pissed you off so bad? What did he say?
man,
I don't remember.
look.
Like he was
We not gonna relitigate old issues.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
just
put it
want to hear it.
behind.
I just want to hear what he said. That
I'm
made
gonna
you so
put it
mad.
behind me. I'm gonna put it
DJ
behind
didn't
me.
even enlighten him. I ain't gonna extend it. DJ don't want me to get on it because I ride that bitch till the cows come home. That's what it is.
Yeah, I just want to know what he said that made you so mad. Shut up,
You know
dog.
that old narrative, he can't box and all this type of shit. It was like, yeah, all right, man, whatever.
Oh, you gotta let that go, DJ. Everybody said he
That
could. Shit,
watch
I
fight
said he
was
couldn't
all
box.
for the fixes in. Hey,
Shit, I
Demetrius
said he
White.
couldn't box. Shit, everybody knew he couldn't
Demetrius
box.
White. I'm gonna say this. Ali Walsh's power is real.
Okay,
It's real.
okay,
If you heard the shots that he was hitting Wesley with, you would have stopped the fight too. He
okay.
dropped
I
him
got you.
twice in a 4-round fight.
Yeah,
Remember
I
that?
saw the fight. I saw the fight. I saw the
He
fight. Yeah,
dropped,
yeah.
he dropped him twice in a 4-round fight. And his corner heard them shots. Like, we were fairly close.
Yeah.
You could hear them thunderous shots that he was getting hit with, especially to the body and the one that dropped him. I don't
So the
blame
boy
his
can
corner
punch
at
is
all
what you're
for
telling me.
stopping the fight. Like,
You said
man, we
the boy
probably
can
only
punch
do,
is what you're telling me.
huh?
The boy can punch is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah, his power is real. Now he needs to work on his defense.
Yeah.
Like
He
Berlanga,
only
he
got 2 fights. I mean, goddamn, he only got 2 fights. He didn't have an amateur career.
He could be further along the way he is. I would say coming from that first fight, he has definitely made an improvement. I would
Yeah.
say him. I don't think
And we got to remember that the guy didn't have an amateur career, so he didn't come up boxing. He went to college. He was doing some other shit.
but you know, Coach G, he's supposed to be coming in later, maybe he will. But Coach G, he was at the fight and he was like, the fix is in. He kept saying that about a couple of some of them.
Well, look, let's be honest. What's that guy name? What's the guy name that beat up Michael Coffey and stopped his hype train?
I don't
The
know.
guy from South Carolina, y'all.
That fought that night, or
I forget his name. Big dude. He knocked Michael Coffey ass out and stopped that hype train.
hold on, I can't remember his name, but I remember that fight.
Yeah, I was remembering that because I was gonna say he didn't get the memo either. I'm pretty sure Al put the memo out. He just didn't get it.
Demetrius said no. If that guy had power, Walsh would have been knocked out. That guy, man, let me tell you, when oh no, I'm thinking of the Evans fight. Now that one, Coach G said maybe the fix. He's on the level like Nico. What I suspected was by the time that they made their pro debut that they would be a lot more polished, Evan and Nico, but they're not. It's almost like they decided to start fighting last year or maybe 2 years ago.
Well, Evan was doing something different too, right, Miss T? He was in college or something, right? Evan didn't have an amateur career.
Oh, I don't know much about Evan. That was my first time meeting him and everything, and that was his 8th fight. But you
Right.
notice in the first, as soon as the bell sound, he was pushing his punches. I mean,
Yeah.
I could see it, and I was like, "You shouldn't be tired. Why are you like softly pushing his punches?" That guy he was fighting, I could tell had way more skills than him. And then all of a sudden he faded. So that's why when Coach G texted me during the fight and said, "We need to fix it." I was like, "Oh."
Say it what now? I can hear you.
He said the fix is in.
Yeah, when Evan was fighting, as soon as the bell rang, he was pushing his punches. He wasn't popping them, he was pushing them. The guy he was fighting seemed more skillful than him, like way more skillful. And then all of a sudden, that guy just started weaning down, which I thought was weird. And then Evan caught him. But I guess if you leave yourself open and let somebody catch you like that, any one of us would go to sleep. But as soon as that happened, Coach G texted me like, "Yeah, man." He did that on a couple of fights.
Oh man, I'm not gonna do that to that kid, man. I'm not gonna do that to that kid because you got to look at how he set up. Jonathan Rice is the guy's name, by the way. OG.
Yeah, Jonathan Rice. Jonathan Rice didn't get the memo.
I'm not gonna do that to that kid, man, because Evans set up that knockout beautifully, and coming into the ring, he was so loose. Like I felt like the knockout was gonna come because it felt like the guy was trying to press him and trying to really bully him in that first fight because the guy was big, and even Evans said he was stronger than I thought he was. So he was like, yeah, he's really strong. He was really strong, and he tried to bully him, tried to press him. And by pressing that action, you got to keep up that pressure. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and you forget they were in the pocket when the knockout happened. He jabbed him, ducked, left hook, straight right. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but that guy should have never been open that early in the fight. Where was his defense? I clearly saw that in the first beginning of the first round, that guy to me had more skill than and nothing bad with saying that. Evans young in his career, but I could tell that guy had more skill than what it appeared to be when he got knocked out. He shouldn't have
I
got
think he's an MMA guy too, if I'm not mistaken. Like
that might explain something.
yeah, I think he was like 6-3 or something like that coming into this fight in boxing.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. You guys got to look at. We hate to talk about it because we all three of us are real boxing fans. We hate to talk about this, but we got to take it into consideration. Who was fighting? Who was the guy? Who were the two guys we're talking about? Nico what?
Walsh
and Evan what? That means money.
Nepotism.
Them dudes are going to be protected all the way up until they can try to find a way to maybe get them in the ring with each other.
Not without a belt on the line. Not without a belt on the line.
And that's my point exactly. They're going to be protected. They're not really going to face guys who either A, haven't got the memo, or B, that could potentially beat them until they 20, 25 fights in. You mark my words.
I know they grown men, but in the grand scheme of things, the boxing, they like babies. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I do give them the benefit of the doubt, but I still think that they should be further along, even at their pro debut, than where they are. See, this is what I'm talking about. If this is to be expected from people who's just starting out pro, when we were talking about Chico earlier, and I was like, he was 7 fights in, and they was comparing his ass to Floyd. This is why I say, like, sometimes they have to have a healthy amount of work on the table before you can start dubbing people this or dubbing people that. You're not, you can't get them. I rarely think that there will ever be a fighter who's in their first couple of fights is just on that high echelon. I don't see it. That would be.
We just proved your point, Ms. T. They said Lomachenko was it, right?
Right.
He got beat in the second fight.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then he got in there with somebody who was actually a little bit bigger, a little bit younger, a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, and wasn't afraid of him. What happened? Got his ass whooped again. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you this: Comey is stuck in the mud and looking for the right hand, so he's probably gonna win that fight. He keep fucking around at 135, he's gonna get beat again because he's not beating Haney.
No.
He better stay the fuck away from Tank.
Facts.
Avoid him.
Thank you. Everybody saying that Tank ducked him back in the day. I was like, man, listen, it is clear. If y'all hadn't noticed it yet, it's clear that Floyd Mayweather does not want to do business with Bob Arum. It is clear. It's clear.
Yeah,
Bob still owe him $11 million. Y'all remember he said that from his fight?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Bob is saying, I can give you this 11 million. I'm not gonna give you this 11 million because I should have let Jay Prince tear your ass up, but I didn't.
I don't know. You owe me 11 million shit. You owe me $5. Like, yo.
See, that's what we forgetting. We keep forgetting. We all forget this. And Miss T, I don't know if you're a little bit younger than me, so you may not remember this. But y'all gotta remember something. Bob Arum got into boxing in the late 60s, right? When Bob Arum got into boxing, you couldn't be soft and you couldn't be no punk. You had to have some connections. Because boxing was ruthless back then.
Ruthless.
Bob Arum is the most powerful guy in boxing. I don't care what anybody says. He got the connections. He been around the longest. He
Mhm.
got the pull. He know everybody,
Oh,
and he knows where all the bodies are buried. Believe me,
oh, I remember
So,
guys
he knows where all the bodies are buried. So,
Ali, Frazier, all the
mhm.
Don King and him was at the head, ham, running things and shit. Bob was,
so I say that to say this, Miss T.
mhm,
If Bob Arum say he ain't giving you that 11 million, you ain't getting it. Give a
exactly,
goddamn who you are. You
exactly.
ain't getting
if he ain't got it by now, he ain't gonna get it. Because
it. You ain't getting
OG, you was telling me a story yesterday. Like I didn't know he took PBC to court about buying up all the time slots. I didn't know
it. He
that.
did. Sued him, and he won. Al Heyman had to settle with him out of court. That's why Al can't stand him. Because powerful business people don't like to lose at anything.
Nah.
They
And
don't like to lose.
Bob's in the right pedigree when it comes to getting his way in business. And Bob is a lawyer, Harvard trained. So you already know. But so is Al Heyman, Harvard trained. That shit matters in the weeds of things.
Corporate lawyer. So he used to doing this. He been doing this since been doing this. But
Mhm.
yeah, you don't cross the Bob father. I think Tio found that out the hard way. I bet you Tio probably thinking at some point I should have just took that Lomachenko rematch like Bob wanted me to, and I could have got on with my life. Because if he fights Lomachenko again, he's gonna knock him out. I have full confidence he'll knock Lomachenko out the next time they fight. If and when they fight.
He almost did it if the ref didn't get away with it in that first fight. He in that
Well,
12th.
the thing is, I say this, y'all. If they fought 10 times, Tio's going to win 7 or 8 because he's just too big and too young for Lomachenko. Lomachenko can't beat him. I don't give a damn what version of Lomachenko shows up. He's going to get his ass whooped.
I never gonna
Right.
get all
And
that.
and his footwork and his angles and everything that
Ain't going to help him.
Lomachenko uses is
Ain't
not
going to
gonna
help
help
him.
him because Tio throws straight down the line. Everything he throws is straight. That's how he was able to outbox him in that first fight. Them angles didn't mean nothing because I'm not looping any of my shots. Everything is coming straight down the line. So if you're not gonna move your head, if all you're gonna do is move your feet, I'm gonna tag you every time.
He kept up with
And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all something else. Miss T, you may know something about this. DJ, you ain't got there yet, I don't believe. When you get older, things change.
most indeed.
That things change. That shit
Absolutely.
Lomachenko could do at 28,
Okay.
at 34 years old, he can't do it.
I was just telling them how you fall asleep, how you used to fall asleep when you was young. You doze a little, you go like that. You doze.
Mm-hmm.
When you get
Mm-hmm.
older, you just black out like you're like, oh my God. you don't
Yeah, you out. You sleep.
you out.
You wake up, it's the next day.
You be like, when the fuck did I fall asleep? Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay down and take me a o'clock in the afternoon. I'm taking right quick. You wait 9.
Yeah, man. This shit is different, man.
I
This
remember
shit is different.
being a kid, I hated naps, but then it was one point when I became an adult, I was like, oh, I look forward to them. I forgot what age I was. I think I was like 27. I was like, ain't nothing like a nap in the middle of the day.
Man, because you can recharge. You recharge up.
Demetrius
Recharge
Jones
up.
had
Shit.
a lot of excuses for that guy with all the hype behind him.
You
Also,
talking about Nico. You talking about Nico, yeah.
not Christ knocked out coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is though, you got to look at boxing for what it is. First and foremost, is a business.
Right.
And let's look at the precursor to Nico Ali Walsh was his auntie Layla. Layla didn't have no amateur career.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Layla came straight to the pros, but you know what Layla had? She had that damn name, and they capitalized on that goddamn name.
See, that's the thing I can't ascertain yet. Do he have heart? Because when y'all was talking about last night, like I said, y'all show last night was the bomb.com. Y'all were talking about skill levels, right?
Right.
And skill levels is fine and dandy. But when you start ranking the attributes of fighters, I always say if you have legs, that's number one. Because ain't no fighter gonna be that great without legs. And number two is the heart. And the heart you can't teach. You either
Right.
got it or you don't.
Right.
And I'm not picking that vibe up from Nico. I hope it's there, but I just ain't picked it up yet. Layla
Well,
is
let's look at the guy the last example we just had. Now, all of a sudden, you know, you had your boy Belanga, right? He
yeah.
was 16-0 with 16 knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
He was all on the rap videos. They said he's the next
In the
Mike
first
Tyson, all
round.
this other shit, right? Remember that?
All in the video. Yeah.
Yeah, they said all that about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now what we doing? We questioning his skill level. We questioning his desire because they've actually put him there with two dudes who could actually fight, and he looked a little bit different now, didn't he?
Right.
He looked a little bit different.
Especially after the last fight. He better learn how to cook.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing
He better
is,
learn how to
like Miss
cook,
T is
man.
saying, Miss T is
Everybody
absolutely
sucks.
right. The heart cannot be measured. If you go back to the greatest, Ali didn't really start getting respect till when? After the first Frazier fight. Because that heart got checked. And everybody could see, okay, well, he got it.
That's
Because he had never been
Just like
challenged before.
Saturday. Just like Saturday, OG. You
Yeah.
didn't think Shakur had that dog in him.
And what did I say Sunday morning? Okay, he got it. Because I see it.
He bit down on that mouthpiece a couple times
Right.
and let the male hair have it.
And what was my issue? Because he had never had to do that before. So I didn't
Right.
know if he could. I know now, if it gets stanky and dirty, Shakur gonna be right up in there.
Let me tell you, the second round is when I saw him take Jamel's heart. I seen it right there. I was like, he don't got the heart no more for this. He already know he's gonna be. He cannot do
He
no-
checked out, Miss T?
He checked out. I saw it. I was like, hey, I give him this to Marine, so we don't quit. I said,
Right.
damn Marine. But he a shipmate. So, you know, I got love for Jamel.
Right.
Jamel didn't go hard like I'm used to Marines. I gotta understand. Been around them 20 years. These dudes go hard. They almost come out crazy. And I was expecting, oh my God, he's a good fighter. And he was a Marine. Oh, no. And I didn't see any of that. That's because by the second round, Shakur took his heart. Shakur
Because
played
what I think was this. I think because everything he tried to do, Miss T, whenever he opened up, he got hit with something.
Mm-hmm.
And he realized after 2 rounds that this kid is too fast. There's nothing I can do.
That's another thing.
Now I just got to survive.
And see, that was. Go ahead, Missy. Go ahead.
The age was a major factor.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It showed up.
I thought it was evident from round 2 or 3. It's like, oh, he too slow. Oh, Jamel too slow. Oh my God. Because Shakur hit him with a good one. I think it was a double jabbed him, then threw a left hook, then jabbed him to the body. Then he stepped out. And that's when Jamel tried to come with that straight left, followed by the right hook. He stepped back and then hit him with a jab and then turned him. It's like, oh, Jamel too slow. Oh man, this shit over with.
Why you think that Jamel won't throw in them hands? Because I'm sure if he'd have put some volume to it, like throw a bunch of punches, he would have connected to some. But I think for the people who say Shakur don't got power, I feel like he might do. He might have power.
Exactly. And I said that last night on the show. I was like, you gotta go back and really watch that fight. And especially being there, Shakur was popping Jamel's head. His head was snapping back when he was getting hit with the jabs last night. See, people say Shakur ain't got no pop on his punches. I say he don't knock you out unless you feel like it's there. Like he said when he saw that cut open up, he was like, I just wanted to keep hitting it because I knew they were gonna stop the fight.
I'm gonna tell you from experience, Miss T. I participated in the sport from 1973 to 1980, so I'm gonna tell you from experience. When it comes to a point in a fight when you're getting hit repeatedly with shots you do see, and especially shots you probably don't see coming, and you're just getting caught and caught and caught, it gets to a point in a fight where you have to make a decision. Do I want to survive? Or am I just going to bite down on my mouthpiece, go for it, and if I get knocked out, so be it. Jamel got to the point where he made that decision. I don't want to get knocked out. Because this kid keep hitting me like this, he going to knock me out. So I'm going to survive. I'm going to survival mode. That's what he did. He survived. He made it through.
Totally. That's what I mean.
He made it through. Yeah. He made it through.
Yeah, because when you got heart, you don't care about shit like that. You don't care about it. You know you in a fight. You know it's them or you. It's sink or swim. You got to do something. You don't care about the final ending. You like the answer. I always say the answer is no if you don't ask. And if you apply that to boxing, like of course nothing's gonna happen if you don't throw the hands. But you got to throw them hands. You never know. And so it was kind of disappointing for me to see that he kind of checked out after the second round. And I felt like Shakur was playing with him. He was toying around. He kept him around longer than he needed to. Probably like to give a good fight or give an entertaining show. Truth be told, that was the only entertainment that night because all the undercards, like y'all said, it was prospects. You know, these guys are just starting. But, you know, when I'm back home watching fights, I'm used to like 3 or 4 of them fights just bad. Like the whole undercard, bad as hell. But that wasn't the case this time around. So I'm trying to be objective and be like, you know, understanding that where the position these fighters are in, who was on, but I've never seen them pack a card with a bunch of people who are novice, like novice in a sense, compared to other pro fighters that's just starting out in their pro fighting, and they was on the undercard. I didn't get that at all. So Shakur and Jamel's fight was the best fight of the night, but it was one sided. I don't know how other people felt about it, but I felt it was one sided. And once I saw that, I was like, oh well, we'll see how long he gonna carry him. But Shakur Stevens needs to get better at trying to so-called sell his fight. Y'all know what they had asked him before the fight. How y'all feel about each other? Oh, he ain't my friend. I don't even know him. Like talk about like I don't outside of boxing or something. I don't even talk to him. And I was sitting there thinking that I don't think that's true. Then when the fight was over, he said, "Oh, he's my friend. You know, now that the fight is over, blah 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 blah." What I would say to Shakur, if he listening, you don't want to be on record seeming like an outright liar.
I mean,
Well, you gotta look at this, T. This you gotta look at what he said.
They trained together for a long time. They trained together for a long time.
Yeah, they did. I understand what he said, though. He said, I couldn't go into this fight with him feeling he's my friend because we are friends and I wouldn't have been at my best. I had to make him an enemy. I had to make him an enemy so I could do what I needed to do. And I get that. I get that because if you look back at the history of boxing, Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali were friends.
Right.
They were friends. Joe Frazier loaned Ali money to keep him afloat when he was on his 3.5-year ban from boxing. Joe Frazier helped Ali get his boxing license back.
Gave money and everything.
Yeah, and when the time came to fight, Ali had to turn that off because he knew if I view this guy as a friend, I won't be at my best.
And I get that part, but I'm saying he just got to get better at it because the way what is it? The skill level on that shit is lacking. Let me just say. Take a note from Terrence Crawford page. Terrence just say, "Well, we about to fight, so he ain't my fucking friend."
Right.
Fight over, he be like, "All right, dude, what's good?" You didn't outright lie to the public. We know what you're doing, Shakur. Baby steps, but you know.
Well, you see what T Buzz said about his T.
You see his wife after the fight. She wouldn't have it.
But she accepted it today, DJ. Hey, today she accepted the apology. She did.
Yeah.
Jennifer accepted.
He was trying to apologize in the ring. He apologized backstage. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I really didn't mean it. Huh?
What did Shakur say about his wife? Did I miss something?
He didn't say nothing about his wife, but his wife was pissed off.
She was mad about the disrespect, like you were, Miss T. She was mad about the disrespect he showed her husband. And he tried to apologize after the fight, and she wasn't having it. She didn't want to hear nothing he had to say. But today she came out on Instagram and she said, I accept your apology. Just learn. She said the same thing, basically, Miss T, that you said. She said, learn how to sell a fight in another way. Your skill set will sell the fight for you.
Miss T putting her female brain in my bag, y'all. I mean, I was like, that's awkward. That's weird. Look, the camera did pan on her, like she was doing one of these numbers, and I was like, bitch. But there was a lady up to the corner who had a red shirt. DJ, that lady. Because the way they put it up, look, I used to watch soap operas. I swear I recognize a soap opera a mile away. So the lady up on the ring got a red shirt. I don't think she a doctor. I don't think she's one of those people that work for the stadium that, they have in each person's corner. I looked over at Shakur's. He didn't have an extra person. And then they cut to, Jamel's wife doing the head and the fingers and shit. I was like, what is going on? I don't know if
I don't know. Like, I didn't see that. Might have been Shakur's mama. I don't know.
Real light-skinned lady.
Did she have glasses and she was kind of heavy set?
She was heavy set, but she was on Jamel's side. She wasn't on Shakur's
Yeah,
side.
that was his mother, I think. Either his mother or his aunt. Because you remember in part 2 of the Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Jamel and Shakur? Okay. After the weigh-in, when Shakur was touching his belt, that same lady was telling Jamel, you got to whoop his ass. He's way too disrespectful. You got to beat the shit out of him.
Okay. I
didn't know. That's what I'm saying. That might have been his mama or something, man. I don't know.
His mother or his auntie, somebody, maybe his sister, somebody in his family. Because she came up to Jamel and said, you got to beat the shit out of him. He's way too disrespectful.
Now, she looked way younger than Jamel.
Well, Jamel's what, 35?
Yeah, but she looks
she could be a sister. She could be a sister. Maybe she's in her 30s or late 20s. But I remember her. Heavy set lady. She's on Jamel. Yeah. I remember her. Yeah. She told him straight up in those words, oh, yeah, you got to beat the shit out of him. He's way too disrespectful.
But yeah, Shakur tried to apologize in the ring. He was like, I'm sorry. He was like, I'm sorry. But he called her name. I forgot her name.
Her name is Jennifer Harris.
He's like, I apologize. Like, I didn't mean it. It was just, I just had to sell the fight. And she wouldn't. And then he said the same thing backstage, and she wouldn't have it. None of it. She was like,
Yeah. She put a post out today. You can look it up, DJ. She said, I accept your apology. I understand, but you need to find another way to sell a fight because your skill set will sell the fight for you. You don't have to do those things.
You don't have to stoop that low because now you looking fugazi.
Looking like Floyd. Everybody knew that wasn't really Floyd back in the day. You knew that wasn't Floyd.
Yeah, but did nobody want to
sell that fight?
Did nobody want to hear that when Floyd got up there? I just want to thank God. I just want to thank my uncle Roger Mayweather, Mayweather Promotions. When nobody trying to hear that when Floyd was doing that, exactly. He had to become the bad guy.
Floyd didn't blow up until he became a piece of shit. You're right.
He stole the fight in the beginning. When the fight was over, he displayed sportsmanship.
Like, yeah, he did. Floyd did do that. You're right about that. He did do that.
That to me, you can almost say, "Damn, he got us again," but he's not really getting us
every time. And
it worked every time. And that's what I'm saying about Shakur. You made it seem like y'all barely even hang or talk. You probably broke bread at too many times. This woman probably was in the kitchen for 10 hours cooking food for you. And then you gonna
why you think she was so upset, Miss T? Why you think she was so mad?
I would be too. Demetrius stayed back in the dressing room. He also said she didn't come out the dressing room. No, she came out. She was in there. She was on the sideline. I guess her name is Jen. She was on the sideline. Was that the dressing room?
That was I saw back in the dressing room.
Jennifer. He's right. Her name is Jennifer.
He apologized to her in the ring, and he was trying to apologize face to face backstage.
Okay.
But something that Floyd did that a lot of these fighters are missing in their recipe for trash talking. Something Floyd did better than he would always big up his opponent, make us believe that this guy actually had a chance, and he go in there and he'd wash whoever it was. And then, damn, he got me again. I knew that dude could beat Floyd, man.
he never diminished their abilities. And I've seen a couple of fighters do that, like, oh, you can't do shit to me. And I'd be like, wait a minute now. Unless somebody orders a fight for you with this opponent, you never say that shit.
Now you know who's perfect that doing it right now, in my opinion. You guys watch the Porter Crawford press conference?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, when Porter was doing all that talking, what did Buzz? He said, "Okay, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see." That sounds real good. We'll see.
What did he say to Kyle, DJ? I on the report that so Kyle would come in here and say it. He told what did Bud tell Kyle? That's that night.
Hey, hold on. Kyle stopped and talked to Bud. He was like, hey, he's like, I need you to make me a rich man because I'm betting on the knockout. He said, Bud looked at him. I'm finna knock this motherfucker out, dog.
Look, what I tell hey DJ, tell Miss T.
Like,
hold on, DJ. Tell Miss T what I've been telling you for months. What have I been telling you for months?
Bud is gonna stop Porter inside the night. I think I'm one of the only ones who's saying Bud ain't gonna stop Porter. Now he gonna dominate the fight, but I don't think he's gonna stop him.
Hey, excuse my language. He about to beat the Hebrew shit out this boy.
Hey, I'm a sailor. You know, we hear this on the regular. There is. But
he about to beat his ass.
Yeah.
Porter, I mean, if you just look at it from boxing, just look at the boxing, the footwork, the skill sets. Porter don't have the skill set to stay in the ring with this dude. This dude is on another level when it comes to Porter. Now with Errol Spence, that's a different fight, different animal. But Sean Porter, hey, the same thing. It's like this, DJ. The same thing Ali told Foreman in round 5. Boy, you got 2 chances, slim and none.
Porter know he outmatched. Because when I look at Crawford, I be like, what can't he do?
Exactly.
I like Earl Spence. No hate towards Earl, but if them two were to fight, I got Crawford because I don't look at Earl and say, what can't he do?
Exactly.
Great fighter, take nothing from him, but there's a couple of people you can only say that about. I'm about to say it about Couture. I've been saying it about Floyd, and I always say it about Terrence Crawford.
Right. I've been telling DJ for months, there is nobody from 140 pounds to 154 pounds that can beat this guy. Nobody.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Bernie the Boxer when I saw him Saturday. I'm gonna say the same thing I told Bernie the Boxer. I don't know about all that, but Bud good though.
Yeah, he beat them. He beat all them guys. There's nobody up there that can beat him. Now 160 is a different animal. 160 is a different animal. But 154 there ain't nobody
There's a guy from Dallas, Texas, and there's a guy from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania who got something to say about that.
Well, here's the thing. He's not ready yet. Now, he gonna beat most guys. But Boots, the experience that he ain't ready yet. He's never seen nothing like Terrence. Nothing.
Hey, some of these guys got to fight him, man.
But styles make fights. You're right. Boots is my guy. I think Boots washes Virgil. That's why they keep him away from Virgil.
Yeah.
He destroys Virgil.
Acting like Virgil is the second coming. This dude got tricks. That's it. You know, half the time he squared the fuck up in the ring.
Exactly.
You square up, I'm like, you're not top echelon. You know what he got? He got that money came by. He got youth. That's it.
That's it. He overwhelms him with the youth and the power. Yeah, the youth and the speed. But here's the thing, though. I tell DJ, I tell people all the time. Okay, you like Virgil? Put his ass in there. That's what you do. Put him in there.
They got him ranked. What is he now? He number 1, ain't he? He number 1 in the WBO. I think all these sanctioned bodies besides the WBC. I think all these sanctioned bodies got Boots like number 3 or 4 in all these sanctioned bodies.
And you know I love Boots, and I say the same thing for Boots. Put his ass in there. Put him in there.
They said 15.
I'm sorry, let me see. I didn't hear you. What you say?
I said they said 15 people turned down fights. That's
Yeah,
why
they
That's what
did.
Espinosa said.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that's what he
he's not
said.
with BBC. He's not with
He
BBC.
told us that. Remember,
He got that
DJ?
deal with Showtime. So
Remember, DJ? He told us that in
Espinosa said
Atlanta when we was there in
15
June. He told us
guys.
the
Yeah,
same thing in
15
Atlanta.
guys will turn down the fight.
He told us the same thing in Atlanta, Miss T, when we was there in June. He said, I'm trying to get a fight. They keep turning it down. Nobody want to fight me.
because he is one of the people I'm going to say in about 5 seconds. He's a complete fighter. What?
Oh, yeah.
That's how I feel about Boots.
Yeah,
I
Boots
do.
he's the second. He's the next guy up. Boots is the next man up.
Not
And
overturned.
like he told Kyle when he did that interview with Kyle, just making it worse on yourself by not fighting me now.
Exactly. When we talked about that, DJ, what I tell you? I say, anybody want to fight Boots? What? You better fight him
Get it
now.
early. I said the same shit. I was like,
Don't
Errol and Blood better fight him now. They better fight him now before he figure this shit out.
Demetrius said Earl Spence Jr. would stop Crawford. If Bud beats Porter, it would be a split decision. Bud gonna knock him out, Demetrius, number one. And the other number one, Crawford got Earl.
Now, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing, Demetrius.
I gotta cut out of here, y'all. I'm about to get back to work, man. I'm gonna be listening though.
All right, brother. I'll holler at you.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Yes, sir. Hey, Demetrius, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I got him stopping Porter at 9. He gonna stop Errol at 7. Errol is a flat-footed, come forward volume puncher.
Exactly.
He don't do nothing special. Errol don't do nothing special. Oh, he overwhelms people with punches. That's all he does.
Well, he's a great fighter, but when you fight somebody, you saying what can't they do? Like this is what we said about Floyd. Floyd used to say, "I do everything," and I be goddamn. You have to be like, "I agree with you, nigga," you know. But you cannot say that about Earl.
No.
I have no hate for Earl. Love him, as a fighter.
Yes.
A pure boxer, a person who has all the arsenals can overcome what Earl is doing, and they will have to. But
Floyd Mayweather said it best, Miss T. Errol Spence, no special effects, straight up and down. He don't do nothing special. He come forward, he throw hard punches, he goes to the body, but all that shit is technical and straight. He doesn't do anything special. He's very good at everything he does, but he doesn't do anything special, and he's not on Bud's level. I'm sorry, he's not on Crawford's level. But you will find out if he comes back talking about no tune-ups and he won a champion. Well, I say this to Errol. If you healthy, brother, first and foremost, I'm praying that you're healthy.
Right.
But if you are healthy, brother, get your ass in there and see what happens.
Look, when I read that he said that this is my problem with it. Like I said, no hate for Earl at all. One, I want him to wait till at least August. Anything from the neck above, y'all got to realize that shit takes forever.
Yes, ma'am.
Doctors say it's going to be 2 weeks, a month. That's providing you not a boxer. Like, that's just regular folks. The neck up takes a long time to heal. And I mean, like, Deontay Wilder with that injury in his ear, he don't have time to waste in his career to wait for him to heal. It would take him, with his ear problems, it takes like damn near a decade to heal. You talking about a detached retina, and it was worse than what we thought it was. So for our brother Earl, I want him to stay out till August to get the best healing possible, because anybody he get in the ring with is gunning for that eye, as they should. Like, this is what most people do. They're gonna be gunning for that eye, and I just don't want to see him derailed before he can do everything he can do in the 147 division, and we know he's gonna go up to the 154. He don't need to do nothing to derail any of that pathway that he wants to go down. So take your time and get healed. Demetrius said, but like, I guess he talking about Bud don't have a chin, that he would get knocked out.
How you say? Wait a minute. Wait. How you gonna say that? Okay, you say Bud don't have a chin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many times has Bud been knocked out?
Demetrius, that question is
how many times has he been knocked out?
None that I know. Demetrius, you want to chime in? I put the link.
Put the link in the chat. Oh, here's the other one. Well, Gamboa stunned him, and Mean Machine dropped him, and this guy hit him and hurt him. Okay, well, what happened to those guys?
They all
What
lost.
happened to them?
They
They
all
all got knocked out, right?
yeah, yeah. They lost.
So that point you made, brother, has no merit. That's a silly point. It has no merit. It doesn't matter what happens when you get hit. All fighters are going to get hit. What do you do after you get hit? Do you quit or do you get up and stop the guy and get him up out of there? Last time I checked, Henry Cooper hit Ali so hard he knocked him into the third row. What happened to Henry Cooper? He got knocked out. so that makes no sense, brother. I'm sorry.
Now you good. You said Spence got the best of Mayweather in sparring, but y'all gotta understand they could have been just working on something. It could have been an off day for Mayweather. And let's say under the lights, like having a real fight. I really, I don't
Yeah.
know how to judge that. But even if he did, he hasn't accomplished what Floyd has. Even at the point, Earl got like 27 fights. Out of the 27 fights, how many people we know of? Like, who was the notable fighters that he fought? We can say,
And don't say Porter and Garcia, because the welterweight division takes turns whooping their ass.
right, but they were the top. It was Porter, Garcia,
But they lose. But T, every time Porter and Garcia step up in big fights, what happens? They lose. They lose.
Right?
They lose. So that's not a good gauge of top guys because they're not top guys. You can't be a top guy if you haven't beaten the top guys. Sean Porter and Danny Garcia have not beaten the top guys ever. They always lose.
Sean Porter
They always lose.
But Garcia, I don't know how many losses he taken. But what I'm saying is, was Thurman at the top. So this is just my opinion, y'all.
Yeah.
Because I know people are passionate about Earl.
Exactly, they are. They are.
But hear me good. When Thurman was running things, when he was the top dog, Thurman did to Earl what Earl is doing to what Bud is doing to Boots. What all of them are doing to Boots right now. So Errol's case for hating Thurman, I don't understand it because you turn right around and you're doing it too. All fighters do it. When y'all set y'all undisputed, you don't sidestep what you're trying to do. You going through the straight line, right? You going for the belts. But this dude over here calling you out, but he have no belts. Why would you step out of line to go address that when the person with the belt is right in front of you? That's what Thurman was doing. Now, was he scared? I think so, a little bit. Or was he not sure? I'm gonna say it like that. Probably so. But EJ can't stand Thurman for that. But it don't make sense because you're doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And
I agree.
EJ up here, and I'm like, EJ is a great fighter. But when it comes to bags of tricks that you have, I got Bud all day.
And twice on Sunday. I was looking in the chat. And the man Demetrius said, well, who has Bud beat? Everybody they put in front of him.
Everybody.
All 37 of them.
And then we can't get into this disputing or disparaging people's opponents. Because those are people that's in front. We all know that Bud don't make the greatest business decision, but I'm not here for that. It's good for him.
Yeah.
He got 3-4 million guaranteed no matter if you fight Waldo or Errol Spence. He gonna get his money, so I don't trip off of that type stuff. And I wish he didn't work with Bob, but that's not my choice to make. He's a grown man.
Yeah.
But we can't say he ain't fought nobody.
Right, because he fought the guys they put in front of him.
He's been champion in 3 different weight classes. We can't knock Indongo,
Yeah.
it's not Bud fault that somebody gave Indongo belts.
So
Bud
what? That's not his fault. That's not his fault.
asked them belts. I need that, you know?
Yeah. You fight the guy who got the belts. Just like Miss T was saying. Okay. You say, now this is out of your boy Errol's mouth. Errol said this. I didn't. When they were face to face in Omaha, what was that 3-4 years ago? He said, okay, you guys told me to move up to 147. You'll give me a fight if I get a belt. Go get a belt first. Okay, I got a belt. So what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sean Porter got a belt too. Why would I fight you when I can go here and beat Sean Porter and take the easy route? That's what Errol said.
Yeah, he did.
He said that. I didn't say that. I didn't make that up. You can Google that. He said it.
But
That
more,
tells me, as a person who's been watching this sport since 1969, as a person who participated in this sport from 73 to 80, that tells me everything I need to know. Because if you got a belt, if I say go get a belt and you go get a belt, that means okay, you went and got your belt, you next. If I feel I'm that dude, right? If
right.
that's how I feel. If I don't feel that I'm that dude, if I'm not as confident as I say I am that I can beat you, then I say shit like, okay, well, why would I fight you when I can go fight him, take his belt, then come fight you?
Yeah, and
Why would I say that if I'm confident? I wouldn't.
most important, the two guys we're talking about, Bud and Errol, they don't feel like each other is ducking and they respect each other ability and power, whatever. So I'm gonna have to defer to them as to how I think about it because it's hard. I'm a Bud fan. People in here are Errol fans, and people
Right.
are passionate about it. So to be objective all the way through, those two don't feel a certain kind of way about each other. So we have to defer to them. I won't say that Bud ducking. I won't say that Earl ducking. I'm gonna say they both amicably, you know, feel decent to each other. They respect each other. Bud get, in his Twitter and start saying this, that, and the other, but apparently him and EJ is on good terms. That's all I can say. But I did not understand EJ's response when he said, he just put it in Twitter like some about why would I need a tune up? How did he say that? I need I won't take a tune up. Oh, people take tune ups if they're not sure of themselves. I don't want to misquote,
Yeah,
but
he said that people who take tune-ups are confident in their skills.
are not confident in their skills
Yeah.
like they
Yeah,
take it.
people who take tune-ups aren't confident in their skills. He's saying he's confident in his skill level. He doesn't want no tune-up. He's gonna come right back in and fight a champion.
Earl
Well,
got
I'm
all
gonna
the
be honest. For me, Miss T, I think that's a mistake.
I think so too. I think
I think it's a
that's
mistake.
a bad thing to say because as you say, we're older. I've been 31. He ain't never been 50. I don't know how old
Right,
you.
right,
So
yeah.
when I look at life like that, I'm like, young man, I've been your age. Now I know where it's coming from, and you got all the heart. Girl got what you can't. He got heart, and I love his relentlessness in the ring. But young man, you have never been my age, and I promise you, it ain't that just that simple. So one day you're gonna find yourself feeling or needing to take a tune up, and then what you gonna say? You just blocked yourself in the corner by saying that because the minute you take a tune up, or the minute you say something like, "I need to rest" or "I need to whatever," they're gonna bring this back up. That's why I didn't think it was a good statement to make.
Well, I mean, it's just not good common sense from a boxing standpoint. Because Errol, I don't care what anybody says. Errol's not coming back to the ring till maybe this time next year.
Mm.
It's gonna take at least 6 months, 9 months to a year for that injury to heal.
I
So by that time, you're gonna been out of the ring damn near 2 years.
mm-hmm.
If you think you're gonna be out of the ring for damn near 2 years and jump right back in the ring with a Ugas who's been active or a Bud Crawford, man, you tripping.
Better
You
preach.
gonna get beat up, man.
You
Don't
better.
do it. Don't do it.
I want him to take ample time off and heal as best as he can. Even though after a year, I still don't think he's gonna be fully back to square one. I don't think he ever will. A lot of people don't understand that until something happened to them. When you damage, you got to take care of your body because when you damage parts, they ain't never the same. And then it starts a domino effect.
Right.
Life is a
Exactly. Exactly. The car accident. Now you got the detached retina. Now my man just put in the chat that Errol's planning to fight in February of 2022.
I think
I
it's
doubt that. I doubt that, but we'll see. If he does get in the ring in February, hey, my hat's off to him. I doubt that will even happen, brother.
he got
You
heart.
won't see, yeah, you won't see Earl back in the ring until September, October next year.
I hope so, and I hope they don't fuck with his belts. Leave that man alone. Let him heal like y'all let everybody else. But and nothing to take away from Earl. Right now, he's the king of the welterweight division, as far as I'm concerned. Because why? He has the belts. He has more belts than Terrence. He has fought more people in this division than Terrence. But when I'm talking pound for pound, overall career, I got Terrence as #1 all day, every day. Canelo gets nothing out of here. He don't.
Nah, Canelo like them drugs too much.
He like that tea. That's
Yeah,
what
he like the drugs. So you
Henley.
know,
Well,
it'd be different if it was a one-time slip, but you've been caught twice, bruh. So
exact the Monday.
yeah, once is a mistake, twice is becoming a habit.
Henley said, "Hey, he fought everybody they put in front of him. He never doubt anyone." I'm just going down the chest getting put up. Demetrius said, "Right now, Earl is on a different agenda. He is trying to unify them and move up to 154." But that's what Keith Thurman was doing, and Earl can't stand it. That's why I
Well,
say
Earl's agenda needs to be heal up. That should be his agenda.
one.
Get
That's
healthy.
just heal up. Henley says, "Space will beat Bud. I promise you." What Space? Who they call Space?
He's talking about Spence. He spelled it wrong.
Spence.
You say Spence will beat Bud. I promise you. Okay, well you can promise all you want, bro. That's why they gotta fight.
You know
That's
what?
why they gotta fight.
And if you ever do, I'm not mad. I tell you, I'm
Yeah.
the best fighting the best. I don't cap or cake for Bud. It's just in my opinion. What can that man do? I'm just saying. He said, Demetrius says he's trying to move up. I said that. He said, y'all be sad when Earl beats Bud. No, I'm not.
No, well,
It's
I
just
looked at my account this morning, Demetrius. I checked it this morning as I check it every day. Bud ain't sent me a dime, so I can give a shit who wins. I just want to see a good fight. I want the best to fight the best, so I can know from my own boxing knowledge. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not on either one of them brothers' payrolls. I don't care what they get paid. I just want to see them fight.
he said, Demetrius said that everyone is different.
I guess.
Just said like Heron got this butt whooped by Shakur. Bud would get where would you move the goalpost? See, let me tell y'all. When I tell y'all the fans for Errol Spence, y'all on another level. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah, I tell you.
I am just as much a fan of Bud Crawford as you guys are of Errol Spence. But I will say, just judging y'all, and I am judging y'all, y'all on another level with y'all fanship. It's okay. It's okay. Because Earl is a great fighter. And if he gets in the ring, I'm tuning in. I'm buying what he's selling. I'm a fan. I do not. You can be a fan of somebody else and not dislike the other person. But a lot of Earl Spence fans, they only fans of his, but they hate anybody that he would be in opposition with. And I don't understand that part. Earl is
That's
determined.
kind of like a fanatic or a fanboy or something like that, right? That's what it sounds like to me.
I like y'all can't like other opponents that he may have and still put him as your #1. He said Earl is like a Terminator, like he came back from the horrific car accident. He was blessed. He was blessed. And I
That
tell
was
you,
God. That wasn't Errol. That was God, bro.
listen, he had a son not that long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
His son wasn't, I don't think was created before that car accident, if I'm not mistaken. So he had a purpose. If it ain't just for that, and whatever other kids he may have in the future, whatever else he's gonna do in the future, only Earl could have made that son his son. So that was God saying, I'm gonna send you back. Slow your roll, young man. And did Earl did the best he did. So, when we go through things in life, we just gotta take the lesson with it. That's all we can do. He said Earl planning to fight in February. I think it's too soon, Demetrius. Well, I'm here in Texas and I support ESPN. Yes, Demetrius. Oh, you're a Texan. That is
That's cool to support him, yeah, but you can't. I'm
right.
just saying you can't have just blind loyalty to the guy. That's all I'm saying. If you support the guy, that's great. I mean, because I think he's a great fighter. I think he's one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world. He's in the top three, in my opinion.
He's the king of the welterweight.
Yeah,
He
he's the
hit
king of the welterweight division. He is that. He has the most belts, the most accomplishments at welterweight.
mhm,
But in boxing, Bud has done way more in the sport than Errol. Errol's only been in one division his whole career. That's
right.
all I'm saying. Bud's done more.
And, and to
He's been champion in three different divisions. Errol
and,
hasn't done that.
and to get into the whether their opponents was worthy or not, because outside of Sean Porter and Garcia and Kell Brook and maybe Algieri, name the notable fighters that Errol fought. Like I can't think of none. And when you say their name, where did they register on the freaking scale? Because
Yeah,
apparently
Mikey was a blown up lightweight, and Lamont Peterson was a blown up lightweight.
Lamont at the end of his career, yeah, Lamont Peterson should have stayed down at 140. But Lamont is the truth now, but he should have stayed at 140. Earl was too much for him. I forgot to mention those two gentlemen, but Earl has 27 fights. Who are all of those guys? We don't know. And that's what y'all say about Bud. And I'm like they fighting the guys that's put in front of them. How they style and profile on these guys is a testament to them. I'm talking Bud and Errol. But when I don't mean no harm, Demetrius, when I say Texans, you guys, your love for your team, your fighter or whoever is on another level. Y'all rep y'all people harder than anybody I know. That's what I would say about Texas people. But but you don't have to dislike the opponent of whoever your team or your fighter is facing. You can like them both. You can do both. He said that's not true because I like Thurman too. I like Thurman still. No fanboy. I'm grown man. I support who I want to support. Ah, Demetrius, God,
Ain't nobody telling you who to support, bro. That's your business. I support Bud. That's Bud's my guy. And
we
from my opinion, and what I've seen in boxing, he's the best I've seen. That's just my opinion, though. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't get paid. I don't get no money from these dudes. Ain't nobody sending me no check. I'm not. I'm just stating the boxing opinion. That's all it is. An opinion. That's all it is.
look. I know Henley said Spence will bring God with him that night. Okay. Demetrius said, I have already had also three of those guys were champions at welterweight. He fights whoever is in front of him. I'm saying they all do. Okay. I'm telling you, you can't take nothing from Spence. He is that dude. But so is Bud. What I'm saying is, I can look at both of them and say that. But
Right.
my favorite is Bud. And when they fight, if Bud lose, I'm not upset because I know Bud. He's gonna give it his all, and that's all I want to see is him give it his all. I don't know what the future holds for Bud. I don't know if he's gonna have a perfect record. I have no idea. All I know is that man got heart. He got skills. What can he do? This is what I say about Bud. So I'm a big fan. Spence is relentless. He'll make you quit. You see people quitting, not literally quitting, but you see them quit. Awesome fighter. I like them both. I care for them both as fighters, especially black men. I support them both, but I'm just saying from my observance, a lot of people who like Earl cannot say the same. They just don't say the same, and I don't understand that. Henley said, I like butt too. Yeah. So, I mean, we all liking the same guys, and we all can't wait to see them fighting, but we don't know when that's gonna happen. So, look, I had a lot to put out. We talked about Nico. We talked about Shakur, how he styled the profile. We talked about Evan. Look, Evan, if you ever listen to my show, because when I met these guys, I met them too. I was telling them I got a show, y'all should check me out. So Evan is not there yet when it comes to being fan friendly, and to all these young boxers coming up, because I meet a lot of them. I take their number, I put them on social media, on my social media, like as far as a contact. What I would tell y'all have to learn how to be fan friendly. Y'all really do. And Evan is not fan friendly, not in a bad way. It's like you a person who's not used to people just coming up to you, smiling and hey, can I get a picture? That's where he's at with it right now. But that's something he can fix over time. But F.A. Ajaba, not fan friendly because he just mean. So I mean, if you want to sell, you are the product you're selling. You need to become fan friendly. All of y'all got to work on that. You know, I just said Shakur got to work on how he what he does to sell a fight, because you don't want to look fugazi, because then ain't nobody gonna start trusting you. Like people can actually say to themselves, "Why is it my job to help you get rich?" That's how I feel about Mikey Garcia. Believe it or not, this dude don't have
Exactly.
on try to be
Exactly. You gotta support. You gotta show love to the people that pay your salary. Because if nobody comes to your fight and nobody comes to buys your pay per view, guess what? Bob Arum, Al Heyman, they gonna stop messing with you.
exactly. Mikey Garcia, you don't want to be champ. As far as I know, you don't want to be unified. You don't want to be undisputed. You want my money? No. Mm-mm. And I don't dislike Mikey Garcia. I think he's a good fighter. But I ain't if okay, if we gonna do all that, y'all see this cash out. What I need y'all to do, if life was like that, I need y'all to start pouring shit in there, regardless, even when I'm not online. Just start pouring shit in there. That don't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah,
We got
Mikey's trying to cash out. Mikey not serious about boxing no more. Mikey just trying to get the bag.
and if he's able to do it, I clap my hands to him. I clap my hand to anybody got a hustle that's legally done and can get in that paper. I clap my hand to it. However, I ain't no fool. I'm not finna donate. I'm not finna be involved in that. I want to see champions. I want to see contenders fight each other. I want to see real boxing. The best fighting the best.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I want these fights. I don't care about the other side of the street, or he with the wrong promotional company.
Mhm.
Uh, I done all the heavy lifting, all this old garbage. Nobody want to hear that sucker shit. Do if you the best, and this guy say he the best, then y'all get it on to see who the best.
You
That's the
said
era I come from.
shit
Ali
that.
wasn't ducking no smoke. Marvin Hagler wasn't ducking no smoke. Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't ducking no smoke. Roberto Duran didn't duck no smoke.
And if they
Tommy
ducked it,
Hearns didn't duck no smoke. That's the era I come from.
if they ducked it, they did it smooth as a motherfucker. Because we couldn't tell. We couldn't tell at all. They was trying to be the best. They was trying to be the top dog, and that's what we want to see. As far as I'm concerned, Earl got that in him. Out of all of them in the welterweight, I get that praise to Earl. Bud sometimes say stuff I don't like, and sometimes he say like on the street, or I can't do this, I can't. I think Bud got a one track mind, but again, that man's character don't really lead into his fight game. So I
Right.
have nothing to say about what a grown man is doing outside the ring that includes Errol and everybody else until it bleeds into what's going on in the ring.
Right.
You have to take Bud and Errol what they say. They are cool with each other. They have
Yeah.
no problem with each other. They don't think each other is ducking, and they got respect for each other. So
Well, they both understand. See, the thing with Crawford is he understands the business aspect of it, and Errol understands the business aspect of it. See, people forget that Al Heyman and Bob Arum are not friends. They're not buddies. They don't go to lunch together. They don't do none of that.
mhm,
They don't like each other, and it's
mhm,
going to be very difficult for them to do business with each other because Al got sued by Bob in 2016.
mhm.
Al lost the lawsuit, Bob won, and Al had to settle out of court with Bob. And Al ain't never forgot that.
It's a soap opera. It's always a soap opera. That's why I say if you like wrestling, you should like boxing. 'Cause I swear it's full of soap opera. But in order
Yeah,
for us to stay objective and fair, we got to try to avoid it as much as we can.
right.
And maybe if you give people the benefit of the doubt when you don't want to, like T.O. saying the N word, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Young, but T.O. like
And you know and you know, Miss T, how that done changed since when we was young. You know, when we was coming up, if you wasn't black, you couldn't say that.
right.
Now, in this era, everybody's saying it. So, I mean, what you gonna do?
I know either we all like a person like me got to stop. I
Yeah,
realize
exactly.
that, but sometimes old habits are hard to break.
You know
But
what I mean? So,
me,
I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this, Miss T. I don't believe anybody at the top level, the the top level of boxing, world level. I don't think any of those guys are afraid of each other. I don't believe that.
me either.
I don't believe any of those dudes are afraid of each other. I believe sometimes that business decisions get made, but I don't think they're afraid. I don't believe that.
As I did previous shows like long time ago when I first started, like I said long time ago. It was in August. But I had a show when I said, "Do you throw the baby out with the bathwater?" And I was talking about the three pillars of boxing. It's an entertainment business. It's a business. But what type of business? Entertainment business. Second pillar is prize fighting. So when Canelo say payday, payday, y'all should say shut the fuck up. Everybody looking for a payday. You was looking for a payday with Floyd. That was your biggest payday. So the fact that you acting like you can't reciprocate is a problem for me. And then the third thing is the fighter himself or herself. And that fighter has to have a goal. What you're trying to accomplish. Take us on the journey with you. You can't do the Mikey Garcia. Now, Mikey, fortunate for him, he's had a career where he was trying to do that. He lost some time in his lawsuit with Bob Arum, and then he back and he's trying to cash out while he can. I ain't mad at Mikey, but Mikey, don't be mad at me because I'm not paying for that shit. That's all I'm saying. Have a goal, make a short term and long term goal. My goal is to be champion. My long term goal to be undisputed. Go for that. Don't be bouncing all around. Don't be jumping from weight class to weight class. Finish what you start. For me, that's
And
my
that's my point. And that's my point right there with Shakur. I don't think Shakur should leave 130 until he cleans it out. Beat everybody. Beat them all. Get all the belts. Then go up.
right. Do something spectacular. Like I swear, I say all the time, Tank is about the only fighter I can say as of today that could have cleaned out the 130 division, like became undisputed at 135, and become undisputed at 140. I really believe he could.
But see, the problem with that is Ellaby and Mayweather. That's the problem.
And they ain't gonna let that happen.
Now, they're going to try to get as much money as they can out of Tank.
Hopefully they'll stop bouncing around. Hopefully he stays at 135 and he cleans that up.
Well, see,
Got
here's the thing. If you saw the play, I saw the play when he went to 140. You know why he moved into 140, don't you?
just to get a belt.
Well, they know that Taylor gonna move up. Taylor wants Crawford. That's what he wants.
He showed
Taylor
he
gonna defend that belt against Catterall because he promised Catterall, if you step aside and let me fight Ramirez, my first title defense is gonna be against you here in Scotland. And he's gonna keep his word. He just got injured. I hate that for Josh Taylor.
yeah, he did.
But the fight got rescheduled to February. He gonna fight Catterall, and then he's moving up because as the undisputed 140-pound champion, when he moves up, he has first rights to challenge any champion in the division, and he's gonna challenge Bud Crawford.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what he wants to do. He wants to fight Bud. He wants to fight Bud.
Do TL got that same kind of privilege? I
At
mean,
135, if he is, but see, he's the unified champion because he's not undisputed, in my opinion, because there's a dispute. The other guys running around with the belt.
I understand that completely, but then it's like they say what they say. It's like one of them areas that I just feel like I can't even get involved in. I'm just have to go with what they say. If they say he undisputed, that's fine. If it's Mama call him Clay, I'ma call him Clay. That kind of thing. He's saying he undisputed.
Right.
But
Okay. Well, but with those belts, the belts he has the WBO, he
mhm,
has the IBF, and he has the WBA.
right.
So if he was to move up to 140 as the unified champion at 135,
Mhm.
he has the right to challenge any of those champions of those sanctioning bodies. As when he moves up, he has first rights to challenge them for their titles. He could do that.
I thought only could do that. Get first crack because isn't T.O. a franchise WBC? Don't he got the
Yeah, you're
franchise?
right. He is the franchise champion, so he can challenge anybody at 135. Be the franchise. He's the franchise champion for the 135-pound division at the WBC for the WBC. So anybody who has the WBC championship at 140, Josh Taylor, he can challenge him for that belt.
But that's why I said with several belts out there like that because if he has a WBC belt, that would make him undisputed. But if you have two WBC belts, like you said, then there is a dispute. That shit is crazy, and WBC need to get rid of it. We know that the WBA is working on the process of doing such a thing. Demetrius said, Shakura said he wants to become undisputed at 130 before moving up. I agree with you on this one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what he should do. That's what he should do. That's greatness right there. Clean out the division, establish that you are the best, and then move up and take on another division.
yeah,
Clean it out.
I agree. Another news, Bub is going out some unsolicited advice. I think it's unsolicited. I don't know, but he was telling Caleb Plant he probably needs to beat to beat Canelo, and he was basically like, "Don't look at the Triple G fight, and I guess imitate to a certain degree what Triple G is doing or the strategy, and while you at it, look at Floyd. He think that Plant box on the outside and keep that jab going, confused, and sometimes you gotta stand on your punches to hurt Canelo. Um, that he could beat Canelo because even if he did all that, there is that possibility that the judges or the ref gonna rob him too. So it's like a no-win situation. But that's the advice in terms of Caleb Plant. What you think about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, he could definitely beat Canelo if he keep the jab on. The problem for me is Canelo has improved so much since the Floyd fight because he learned so much. And my thing is Canelo knows how to cut the ring off. So does Plant, my only question for Plant, I'm not questioning his skill set because he has the skills to beat Canelo. He has the length, the boxing ability, the footwork, the speed. He can do all that. The question for me is, does he have the power to gain Canelo's respect? Because if you don't hit hard enough to keep that dude off you, he gonna walk you down, cut the ring off, and he gonna trap you and he gonna knock you out.
And Caleb Plant, you gotta hit him several times.
Right.
One of them people that one or two times you can hit him with a wet shot and it could rock his way, knock him down, and he can see stars. Canelo, he got heart. He ain't gonna quit.
No, he ain't no bitch and he ain't gonna quit. He's not gonna quit. That's what we can't say that about Canelo. Yeah. He ain't no sucker. He ain't no coward. He ain't gonna quit.
No, he ain't gonna quit. And you'll know when he quit. Like,
yeah.
Y'all almost at the end of the fight. There's no coming back. Like how he did with Floyd.
Yeah.
He gave up in the end. He's like,
there's no way I can win this fight. I can't win. I'm too far behind.
Yeah. And
I'm too far behind. And I can't knock him out because I can't catch him. I can't knock him out because I can't catch him. And the thing with can you keep this dude off? It's just like Ms. T. It's just like with Tank. There's guys, Haney, Shakur, that's probably better boxers than Tank. Can you keep Tank off you?
It's a question.
Because if you can't keep Tank off you, that don't matter. He gonna walk you down and he's gonna knock you out.
So you think between Tank and Devin, you think they can pull it out?
I don't know if Devin, I don't know if Shakur, I don't know if Ryan, I don't know if Lomachenko, I don't know if any of those dudes hit hard enough to keep this dude off him. Because you know this, Miss T, you've been watching sports probably watching the sport as long as I have. Eventually it comes down to who wanted more.
Right.
And if Tank is coming at you, just like the Santa Cruz fight, he was getting peppered up by Santa Cruz, correct?
Facts.
But none of that shit was bothering Tank. If you don't hit hard enough to keep that dude off you,
Exactly.
he's coming to get you.
Exactly. I would even. Well, what about Rolly? Because Rolly cracked. What you think about that fight coming up in December? Rolly and Tank.
Yeah, he gonna beat Rolly up because Rolly's footwork is terrible. Rolly don't have a jab. I've watched Rolly go life and death with a dude who took the fight on a 5-day notice. Rolly's in trouble.
That was a robbery. Rolly lost
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, Rolly's in trouble. Rolly is not. I'll be shocked, Miss T. I'll be honest. I'll be shocked if Rolly lasts 5 rounds with Tank. I'll be shocked.
What I'm gonna say is I've seen Rolly late, and I will say just like I said about Nico, I have seen improvement from the Jackson fight and his fight as of late. You know,
Right.
I've seen some little small areas of improvement where he's boxing, setting traps, where he's moving his footwork. Not that he got a lot of good footwork, but he places himself in position right. I would say that. What Tank cannot do is take rolling punches over and over like he was doing with Leo. I
Oh
don't
no,
think that's the winning.
no. He does. He can't punch. Now Rolly got a little pop. He can't punch now. You're right about that.
And that's why I say like Tank, you gonna have to actually box him. You gonna have to actually box him, and like you used to do in the beginning. Don't strategize and be like, I'm looking for that real good uppercut or the hook or the check hook, whatever. Don't be looking for that. Just box his ass, and when you got a chance to sit on him, you gotta go for it. Because Rolly can hit, and Rolly his stance is better. I'm telling you guys, his stance is better. He avoid punches better. This is the improvements that I've seen in him. He be right there in the pocket. He try to turn angles and keep up with you. Now he reminds me of Tio when he does this, because Tio does it too. When you try to go on angles with them, they turn right with you. So and it's you. It's his you. But you're right, Tank. He has skill wise compared to you. He's no match. But power, we don't know how Tank can take a punch. Because there ain't been nobody out there strong enough to hit him hard that he's faced, I should say.
I can't stand Big Nose Ellaby and Floyd. I've never, I respect Floyd for what he did in the ring, but as a person and the stuff he does, I have no respect for him. Floyd he's not a good person. I'll say that. But, Floyd, one thing about Floyd is he does no boxing. And put it this way, you move Tank up to 140, right?
Right.
Now you move Tank up to 140, you say Tank is the guy. So if he's the guy, how come you didn't sign a fight with the guy? They asked Leonard Ellaby about Josh Taylor. What did he say? Well, what does Josh Taylor bring to the table? Well, what the fuck does Rolly Romero bring to the table?
Yeah, I'm tired of talking like that. Period.
Josh Taylor brings all 5 belts to the table: WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, and Ring Magazine. He brings all 5 belts. That's what he brings to the table. You say your guy's the best. You don't want to fight the best guy in the division, but you want to fight Rolly Romero? Come on, man. But you don't want to fight Lomachenko, but you want to fight Rolly Romero.
The only
Come on.
reason why I give another pass to that is because 135, it's been duck season like a motherfucker in that division. I mean, it's fucking an epidemic in that 135 division. Everybody ducking everybody, and it's ridiculous. And it's like nobody will fight Devin Haney. I cannot, for the life of me, understand that. And they don't really want it with Tank. And then, I mean, you got too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that Tank is where he should be, which is 135. I think he should focus primarily on cleaning out that whole division. I didn't like when they was jumping up and down. That was cute that he beat Barrios. Okay, fine. But when they was even talking about Keith Thurman, I was like, come on, y'all. Y'all ruining this guy. Stay at 135. out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would have been stupid. Keith Thurman would have beat Tank up.
beat the brakes off. They don't think so, but I think so. Because one, he's taller, and Keith is
Yeah,
it. You know,
Keith
Keith
is too
might
good
have
and too big.
hair.
You said the right thing. He's too good and too big. He's too big. Tank is a little big guy. But here's the thing: the reason they don't want to fight Haney is the same reason they don't want him to fight. Look, Tank could have fought Haney. He could have fought Lomachenko. He could have fought any of them dudes. Coleman. He could have fought any of them dudes. I'm gonna be honest with you, Miss T. The reason he's not fighting them dudes is because Leonard Ellerby and Floyd Mayweather don't believe he can beat them dudes.
You might be right. You might be
That's
right.
why he ain't fighting. Because
I,
all those fights we named are big money fights. So it can't be the money. Can't be the money. Lomachenko's a big money fight. Devin Haney, big money fight.
Lomachenko,
Teofimo Lopez, big money fight.
Lomachenko was straight disrespecting Tank back in the day. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Like Lomachenko was just calling him out his name and everything, and Tank was not responding. He was responding to everybody else, but not to Loma. And I was like, "Come on, man, smack this bitch." And he never say nothing, and I don't know why.
Because they don't think he could. They didn't think he could beat Loma at the time. They may think he could beat Loma now, but back then they didn't.
Demetri said if Rolly wins, it will mess up the Mayweather promotion plans. The plan is for Tank to destroy Rolly, then they will remove him from their. Rolly, I hope you get paid. Then I don't know. That sounds plausible too. But you guys, we over 2 hours. We going into 3 hours. Shelter Moore, thank you for coming up in the building and talking boxing with us. I was hoping that we could get Coach G on here with you guys. Do come again. You know, I love it. Y'all bring knowledge. I learned from listening to y'all. Like I swear, the boxing session the other night, I thought I was just stupid. Shout outs to all these things that was on there that night. They said they want to get
Well, Miss
rid.
T, you know it's always a pleasure to holler at you talking boxing. I love the sport. I love to talk to people who are objective and have knowledge of the sport like you.
I appreciate it. I certainly try. It ain't gonna be so good to be non-objective and all that stuff. I won't last long on here. And you know, I'm a true Libra. It's all about the scales. Libra season just left. Scorpio season. Shout out to all the Scorpios. But Libras is all about our scales. They have to be balanced.
Exactly.
Not
Exactly. I agree.
a good day. We're not having a good day if they're not. But shout outs to all of them. Thanks for holding class in the boxing section last night. I can't I can't say enough about that show. That was like purity class. DJ, thank you for coming up in here. Demetrius, as always, my day one. I'ma start calling you. Say good night.
Good
Uh,
night, Miss T. You have a good one.
good night to you too, sir. Thank you for coming in. Uh, Hey, so we had a good show. We had some good talks and everything. Thanks for everybody who joined in. Henley, PGH Big Dog, everybody who's joining in the chat, everybody who's watching on Facebook. You know, uh, I had a good time. Water check, water check. I'm still at 80 ounces. When I get off, I'm gonna try to knock it down. I'm gonna try to knock down. At least I know I could do two more bottles before midnight. I don't know, but this wasn't the best day. This wasn't my best day. As I told you, sometimes it be like that. But we are not eating dairy. No dairy. We're not eating meat. I left chicken and tuna. But if you guys want to go hardcore and get it done faster, email me. My email's at the bottom of the screen. It's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That goes to the Facebookers too. I'm telling y'all, all I have to do is help you find the health in you as far as weight loss is concerned, because I know that's what most people want to do and get to that part. I don't worry about it because when we find the health in you, the whole approach that we're taking to find your health, the weight is a byproduct. It's going to peel off. Trust me when I tell you, anybody who's interested in losing 20 pounds in 1 week, holla at your girl. Trust me when I tell you. I told y'all from August 6th to September 26th, I lost 31 pounds. And you ask any doctor or anybody, they'll say, Oh, you can lose about 2 pounds a week. I lost 31 pounds. That's more than 2 pounds a week. Because that'll be 8 pounds. 8 times 2 is 16. I should have lost 16, right? According to how doctors say. I lost double that. So, anywho, check out my show on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, guys, when you know better, you do better. My phone lines were always open. I always check it at the end because you just never know what kind of nugget you're going to get at the end. Well, here we go. I had to open them back up. Anybody want to call while I'm just saying my last few words? Last call for alcohol. Um, when you know better, you do better, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. You know I ain't gonna wait for you, even though my phone lines was open. Thank y'all for joining in. Y'all have a good day or evening.